straight. And here we go. Here we go. Okay, let's see. There we go. Hi, everybody. This has been a crazy day since early this morning. Um, Let me explain right quick, then I'll get into the forecast and my guests. Um, what happened is today is my birthday. I normally try to stay under the radar. And I was telling my daughter yesterday that I'm going to try to keep it as low key as much as possible. Somehow, somebody put that information on blast on my um, file link or something like that. Not only that, but it had Stevie Wonder singing and all this stuff, and it's been busy all day long. I think I found out how it happened and who did it, and I think we'll do that a little later. But anyway, thank you everybody for joining us on this 15th, nope, excuse me, 16th of February on this Wednesday of 2022. And boy, do I have special guests on. But before I do that, as you know, I always bring on the forecast for today. And today's a full moon day, too. Oh, please like, share, and subscribe. Done. Today's Wednesday. The sun is in Aquarius. The full moon is in Leo, which means if you step outside, you can see the brightness of the moon right now. And because it's in opposition. So anytime the moon and the sun are in opposing signs or 180 degrees apart, which astrologers know, it is called a full moon effect. When the sun and the moon are in the same sign at the same time, like it was back on February, I think 2nd or 3rd, it was a new moon, but it's an 8 universal month. It's in the 11 universal week to raise your consciousness. It's a 6 universal day to pay attention to. Attention to the home, the family, the health, finances, education, all the things are associated with 6. It rules Venus. And thus the signs that are doing well today will be Cancers and Pisces and Taurus and Librans. Or if you're born on the 6th or the 7th, the 15th or the 16th, like me, thank you, or the 24th or 25th of any month. And tonight's guest is Jennifer, a special mom. And then around about somewhere near 8 o'clock, I have a special guest. Some of you may be aware of it, some of you may not, but those of you, you're in for a nice surprise. So I want to thank you very much for that. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my special guest to you, or I should say guests. Okay, and here they are. All righty. Here we go.
Hi.
Welcome, Jennifer.
How
Hi,
are
Sarah.
you?
Fine. Hi, Sarah. Hi, honey.
Hi, Sarah. I was trying to hide her, and she could not wait to be on camera. As soon as she heard your voice, she started screaming and waving and wanted to be on camera.
Well, today's a Libra. Today is it's good for Libra, so she's a Libra baby.
Yes, she is. Yes,
So
she is.
listen, all moms, for the most part, are special. Ain't everybody perfect? Ain't every mother or every woman that gives birth a good mother? Every male that fathers a child isn't a good father. But in the main, most parents, whether mother or father, try to do well.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to tell us about what happened, Jennifer?
Yeah. Oh, she's acting up today. Come
Oh,
on,
it's okay.
Sarah.
Don't worry. She'll be fine.
All right. So, Sarah, as soon as she was laughing.
I know. We was playing.
Come
Don't
on,
you
Sarah.
worry, honey. Hi, Sarah. Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Look,
Hi,
look, look, look,
Sarah.
look, 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 look.
So
Okay,
anyway,
so let me just tell you my special story about Sarah. Hold on. I'm gonna see what she play a little bit and
yeah,
see
sure,
just so I can talk. Hold on one
sure,
second.
sure.
Let's
And
see.
by the way, she is a Libra born on the 9th of October of 2015.
Oh boy, she is upset.
That's all right. It happens. It
Oh.
happens to the best of us. It's her first time making a TV appearance.
All right, hold on one second, Lloyd.
All righty. All right.
I'm gonna put myself on mute.
Yeah. So let me do something here and go back. So everybody, first of all, again, I want to Thank everybody. I got a ton of calls that I have to return. I got all these things in my email. But let me tell you, until she gets back, let me explain. I found out because I called one or two people today to find out how did my picture, along with Stevie Wonder's song, get into the mix with this. And then it said happy birthday to me. I never say happy birthday to me. I'll just say it's my birthday. So I knew that was a tip off that whoever did this. But then my publicist and her assistant was kind of planning something big today. Why don't you have people call in? It's like, no, 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 no. I prefer to kind of do it another way. But let me tell you this, I do believe this woman, okay, you're going to see her in just a second. There she is on the right, or my left, your right. This is Jackie Barrios. Now, Jackie, let me tell you this. This woman is incredible. This was taken in front of her home in Philly. She was the one, when I was sitting at her kitchen, says, okay, Lloyd, do this. And she turned on the little mic and I did a little recording. And the rest is history. And I made a commitment that I would start, which I started in July, one of my favorable months. And it's Jackie Barrios. So I suspect this young lady here, Jackie Barrios, hosted that. Okay, I guess that's a birthday surprise. So anyway, I'll work with that. And also her wonderful, wonderful assistant, Jazz Centilla. Now, you when you see those flyers, like up in the top right corner, she designed those. And then she came up with the concept of putting images of all my guests inside. And so this is one of the things I wanted to do also, to tell you that this wasn't, whoops, this wasn't so much about me as I wanted to give this day to you. Here's why. I want you to look at this image I'm about to send you. This is every single guest that has appeared on the show in the order. My brother Francis Revelbay was first, then Kalia Washington, then Hank Rosenson. But this is the exact order of which everybody appeared on the show today. If you look at the bottom right, at the bottom, at the last line, well, next to the last line, you'll see that I have Jennifer slash Sarah, and then later on this show, we're going to have this beautiful woman named Nina Diamond, because on Monday we did what was in the stars. Okay, so on this one, folks, we're going to do what is in the cards. Okay, and I have the perfect individual to do just that. All righty. So, uh, and this is why this whole segment for me for my birthday was to thank you, because without Jackie and Jazz, her assistant, because they put my website together. So when you go to lloyd-strayhorn.com, these two women put it all together. So, a lot of times they see, me in front of the camera, but you begin to see that there's a whole lot of people to make things work. And so, especially again, and I want to just show you, I mean, I did not realize I have done a total of 60 shows. At first, I thought it would be 15 minutes. Now, as you see, I'm spilling over an hour almost on every show. I try to stay within limits, but this just goes to show you. But every single person on this list that you see has brought something to me that I have learned. I've learned from every single person that has been a guest on this show. And so for that, I thank you, because it had not been for you, then the show wouldn't have been as exciting and enjoyable, or raising people's consciousness. Everyone has talked about, well, this person said this person said that. I've had some of these people on, but as you look at the bottom last two, going at the row number 4 to the very right, I have Nina coming on. Next week, I'm going to have Donald Thomas on the 21st, and he broke 3 Guinness records using my system of numerology. And then on next Wednesday, I'm going to have Monica Bay, the famous astrologer that Dominic made mention of. And I says, well, how can I get a hold of her? So to Dominic, I want to thank you very, very much. And I do think We are back a second, and we're going to talk to. We're going to talk to Jennifer.
Hello.
How we doing, Jennifer? You
I'm
okay?
doing great. I had to put her down, put her to bed because she just started daycare, and she just started daycare in school. It's also a
Hmm.
school. So
Hmm.
usually when she's come home, she eats and she gets really fussy and tired. She just started of this past last Monday, and this
Hmm.
week was like her full straight week. So I noticed when she's come home, she gets a little antsy because she's tired. But
Well, because she goes the first thing in the morning, so that's understandable.
yes, yes,
But
yes,
anyway,
yes.
it's
So, but
funny.
you got to see how big she was. But um Lloyd, it's been a journey, and I'm so happy and honored. First of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
We love you, and I'm so honored for you to be her godfather of
Yes,
this.
yes, I am too. I'm very, very honored. But you know, when you first came to me for a reading, and then later on you came to learn how to do numerology, you had told me an interesting story when you were in the fifth grade. Can you share that?
Yes. So in fifth grade, we had a substitute teacher. And whenever there's a substitute teacher, now, no one wants to follow the normal rules as the teacher that you normally have every day during the week.
Hmm.
And he was a substitute teacher for the week. And he didn't care if you did your homework, what you was doing. Every day he had your book, Numbers in You, and he was just reading the book. And I said, this guy seems like he's just here on the clock. But every day he was coming in with his book and said, class, you could do what you want. This is the assignment that the previous teacher left. But he wasn't like concerned. He was always the book. So I happened to see him and I said, what book are you reading? He said, if you read this book will change your life. I was in fifth grade. He said, if you get a hold of this book and you go to the library or just buy this, get a hands on this book, which was called Numbers in You. He said this book will change your life. You need to carry it with you for life. It will be an amazing change in your life. And I'm a number 5. I'm born on January 23rd. I'm an Aquarian, just like you.
Yep.
And we're always seeking knowledge. We're always seeking wisdom. And I held on to that memory because every day he comes in the classroom and he just opening and is engaged in Numbers in You. And I had no idea from fifth grade, years later, that I was going to go back full circle, and that the author in the book would be my daughter's godfather. I would
Yeah.
never guess this.
No, but it shows you how there are interesting twists and turns in life that you never, never know. And you never cut off your blessings because you don't know how things are going to turn out in the end.
And I was in fifth grade, and I'm a number 5. I'm born on the 23rd, and 2 plus 3 is 5.
Yes, 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 yes. And you know your numbers very, very well.
Thank you.
Sarah.
Oh my God, Sarah is very, very interesting. Sarah almost was a miscarriage. Sarah came at 22 weeks. Okay. And I wonder if I share this in New York state law, and I don't hope I'm not like, don't quote me on the exact weeks, but if you're either 21 weeks or less or 20 weeks and less, you don't have the decision to choose. Actually, some people say even 24 4 weeks, some states, but in New York, I believe it's 21 weeks or 20 weeks or less. You don't, if the child lives, you don't have the chance to decide if you want the kid to live or not. So
Really?
Sarah was just 1 week ahead of that whole
Cut
decision
off
making,
point.
that
Hmm.
cutoff point when you think about it. And that's because when you put a child on a ventilator that small, that early, so essentially Sarah was like a 5-month baby. She was only in my womb for 5 months. And I just realized that my number 5, the
Yeah,
23
I'm
to
just
5,
wondering. Yep.
I thought she was going to be an Aquarian, but she's our other fellow air sign, a Libra. I really thought we was going to have an Aquarian on our hand. Because she was due around the week of February 14th, and she
Hmm.
came October 9th. And the reason why they don't give the parents the decision is because when a kid comes that early, apparently to put a child on a ventilator, the lungs are considered, it's considered like inhumane. It's very painful to try and push life, put oxygen. It's not as
I'm a
sensitive. So it
ventilator
becomes
anyway.
really a lot of semantics and politics around it. But it was a miracle for me. However, when she was born at 750 grams, which is her number 3, because she was
Hmm.
born on October 9th.
Mm-hmm.
When we add and how we got the 3 is 7 plus 5 is 12, 1 plus 2 is 3. And she, oh my God, they told me, she had a brain bleed. They told me that, if you keep her, this early, we don't know what the outcome would be. Most likely she could be blind or deaf because of the brain bleed as well. And they said, are you sure you want to keep her? They had given me and her father papers, and definitely me as her mother, to sign off. I didn't know what the NICU was, which is the Native Intensive Care Unit. So I've never heard of this. It was very traumatic. And they're like, you may want to, you may have a very difficult life if you go this path. You may want to, just leave her with us. And, so then, I started doing the numbers. This was my test, Lloyd, to see, I guess this was, I feel like this was God giving me a test right now. Who are we going to trust? Are we going to trust the God within us, the God, our spirit guide, or we're going to trust man and man's books of what they assume it's going to be?
Mm-hmm.
But when when her dad looked at her in the incubator, she stuck her fist up, Lloyd, even with her purple veins, she stuck her fist up. And that was a sign for me that we definitely had the victory. I believe you was in India at the time, or you was traveling at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was on the phone trying to call you. But when I finally got a hold of you, Lloyd, I gave you the date she was born, and you said to me, 9s are fighters. She got this. 9s are fighters. So I looked at those doctors and I said, hell to the no. I remember I said, hell to the no. I'm not signing any papers.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go. I need you to do everything to keep her here. Now that she made the test, they said it's very sensitive. She just made, I said, I need you to do everything possible to keep her alive unless she lets go. Unless she
On
lets
her
go
own.
on her own, then I
Yes.
would accept it. But
Mm-hmm.
if she's with us, you need to be with us. And when we came with that attitude and that we had the victory, it's just like everything moved in that route. It seemed like everything started to move in that route. I would say, yes, 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 Sarah, you're the best. Yes, 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 Sarah, you're blessed. There were times when the oxygen in the NICU, they had them on the oxygen breather. It would go bang, 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 bang. And you have all these babies in like NICU babies, and Sarah's going off. And that's because she hit 100 on the oxygen, meaning that she's learning to breathe on her own without the machine. She's hitting well. And
Mm-hmm.
there were times when it would be 99, right? And she
Remember.
was born on October 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were times where when her dad walked in, it would be 100. He's born on November 10th. He's a 1. So when
Mm-hmm.
she walked in, she would go bing, bing, bing. And it was like she was trying to let him know, I'm here. I'm fine. And let us know I'm here. I even tried to send you a picture. I don't know if you could get it, of her thermometer reading 36.9. That's her 3, 6, and 9, the numbers that you
Yeah.
told me.
Her numbers.
I remember coming to her, Carly, I'm coming to you to get my reading. And you did her whole chart for the year of her up and down days, her stress days, her great days to run certain tests, and just, Lord, you're just truly a blessing. I love you. I couldn't have chosen a better godfather on earth. I just couldn't, just being with this journey with her. And it was funny because it was almost like the doctors were now saying, wow, this is a miracle. And it really was a miracle. And it was really like, these were the same doctors that were saying terminate. Now they're looking at the results and they're doing so good. And she's hitting the oxygen and she's hitting, so it's just having that faith. It was very, 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 very difficult being in the NICU, because you're also with other moms, and every mom, we just can't help it. You can't help but compare. You can't help but like, well, what is your child? Is your child hitting the breathing? Is he getting out soon? How much breast milk did you push today? You know what I'm saying? And to kind of avoid that, it was even down to the breast milk. I would have a pouch that would hide how much I made, because I didn't want to compare. Like if one mom had all this extra milk and you didn't have enough, I just wanted to have that tunnel vision and just see how God how God sees her, the light that God sees her. And I will say, it's been a challenge in the sense of, just getting through that stage. But when they released, she was in there from October 9th to January 16th was the day that they released her home. So they released the home right before COVID in 2020, and she got out earlier than her expected due date, which was February like 14th or 15th. She was, if she had came February 14th, she would have been so much like me. She would have been air on air. Okay. But Libras are strong and they're very balanced, and she's a fighter and she's very independent. And when she came home from the NICU, I told you, you've come with me with her therapies, her OT, her physical therapy. They said don't compare, because she has come so far, a long journey, while other babies were still in the room for an extra 4 months. She came out at 5. I also was a
number again.
My number again. I also was a preemie, and I came out on your number. I was a 7-month baby.
I was a preemie too.
And look how we came out.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yes, we did. Thank you, Lloyd. Yep.
So for people that don't know, well, at least the one thing is we were blessed to talk often. You and Ricky, assign me as the godfather, which I take that role very, very seriously, as you know,
Yes.
and as your dad knows. And first of all, it's an honor because of all the people both you and your husband know. Y'all could have picked anybody, but y'all chose me, I guess.
Listen, it wasn't about picking everybody. It's Lloyd Strayhorn. I'm sorry. It's Lloyd Strayhorn, because that's why I said I'm so blessed to have your trip around the sun today, because we couldn't, it was not a hard decision, trust me, to pick Lloyd Strayhorn as her godfather. First of all, she's going to be having a godfather of such wisdom. She has parents of wisdom. Yep. She has strong people of faith. I'm an ordained pastor. My husband's family, his dad is an ordained pastor. My sister is a pastor. My mom was in heaven. Oh, I also named her after my mom, and who passed away July 29th. I also named her after my mom. So this will be my mom's first grandbaby in heaven. And I remember being in the NICU, I was like, Mom, like, I named her after you. So whenever I say Sarah, I'm calling my mom. And so it was, I'm trying to not be all in tears.
Remember, you told me there was a time you went to an appointment and you had planned to be there first, but there was another person that was in front of you. And what was the name?
So it was on Mother's Day. So my first Mother's Day. So she came home January 20th. My first Mother's Day was Mother's Day is May, right? So sometime in May 16th. And I like to be on time for everything. And my mother was late for everything. So I'm like, I'm going to be the first one at the hair salon. As soon as they open, I'm going to be there. And someone beat me at the hair salon. And this was on Mother's Day. I said, I'm going to get my hair done, my nails done. I'm going to pamper myself on this first Mother's Day, because I have had such a hell of a journey surviving the NICU. My baby's home. She's healthy. And so I rushed there, and I'm not the first person. I'm normally anytime I go to the salon, I'm the first person there. And the first person there on Mother's Day, it had a name named Sarah, who beat me. And I laughed so hard because my mother's never on time. She was late at her own wedding, an hour late at her own wedding. So
your mom was late at her own wedding?
At her own wedding. Had my dad extremely nervous. Okay. She going to show up, but she was late. So I guess it was funny because I felt like she was telling me, you could be on time on earth, but you can't beat me in heaven. I could do things to be on time to beat you. And it was just a reminder that I'm guided. It was just even numbers. Even when I was in the NICU with Sarah, working, I would call you for the dates, and I would look at my calendar book for the dates, what days to do certain tests or to check her eyes. They wanted to do like an eye surgery there.
Because they thought she would be blind.
They thought she was going to be blind, and she's none of those things. She's not deaf. She's none of those things. She's another thing. She looks smaller than her age, but that's expected. But she's thriving, and it's just been such a journey that I told you, Lloyd, I found my calling of doing NICU and numbers, and just so people, when they're looking at the numbers, they won't feel like they made a mistake or what did I do wrong for this person to be born. We're spirit. We're the carry. The baby. Sometimes I forget that the baby has their own spirit as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your own spirit, and God has just ordained you. The spirit has ordained you to be the carekeeper, but this person also has its own spirit, its own destiny, its own timing, its own beginning. So sometimes I would look at, oh, maybe I should have did this and maybe I should have did that early. You don't want to have that guilt with the mothers that are going through the NICU, that, oh, what, was my first pregnancy. What could I have done better? What did not know? Because
Mm-hmm.
her spirit was a force that was just so determined to be here. She was just so determined to be here. So determined. She believed she was ready. She
And
believed
she is
she was
ready.
ready.
And every day she gets better
And
too.
every day she gets better and better and better. And she's so independent. Even when I'm like
That's the
practicing,
nature of a 9.
you can't tell her nothing. She'll snatch the spoon back, even when she's wrong and making a mess. And I'm trying to do it the right way. Even when she's strong and wrong, she has that fighter in her. And you said 9s are fighters. So I guess anyone born on the 9th, the 18th, the
Mm-hmm.
27th. So whenever I make her doctor's appointments, I make it on the 9th, the 18th, the 27th. So if you had a baby that came early on the, let's say, on the 7th, you're a 7, right? You would do it the 7th, the 16th, the 25th. So you'll get that divine path. So, and what you do is a blessing, and you don't know how often, you would touch each person's life, because that is like the very beginning stages. Everywhere in that NICU is numbers. Everywhere, down to the machines. Then they do the temperature test. Then they weigh the baby every way. They weigh the way they weigh their stool, how much their stool weighs. They weigh everything. I mean, numbers are everywhere. They check the blood pressure. It's just, and you just see the machines going off, and you just see the mothers looking at babies and wondering what, but
Mm-hmm.
they focus on the numbers and they have a direction. I think there's a saying you say, Lloyd, how people say I'm at the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, you want to be at the right place at the right time.
That's
And so
always my motto.
that's been your motto. So I'm taking that motto and and I'm like, well, she knew the time she wanted to come. Even when I was birthing Sarah, and as much as I wanted her to have Aquarian energy, I had no clue the moon was in Aquarius.
Yeah, that's where her moon is. Exactly right.
That's where her moon was. So, and to me, that was just touching, because it was such a traumatic. I didn't know I was going to get birth. I went into the hospital. I didn't know I was going to have an emergency. They was going to put me to sleep, and I was going to have an emergency C-section. I didn't know that. And, I didn't know. I definitely didn't know when I was going through that the moon was in Aquarius. So it just seemed like everything, the planets, the stars, everything aligned up divinely. But I was great. She chose the right mother. I would say that Sarah is not, she chose the right mother. She chose the right parents. And
Yeah, I know for a fact you're no joke.
yes. So I do all, I was destined to be a mother. I thought, I'm an accountant by trade. So I do numbers all the time. I look at numbers, financial numbers, credit numbers all the time. But this was a totally different journey for me, motherhood, and especially a motherhood related to a 22-week, a 5-month baby being born at 750 grams, not pounds, like 750 grams. So, and to now have her here,
Do
almost
you
20
think people have
pounds.
an idea of what that gram looks like? It's less than a handful, right?
I wonder, did you get the picture? I wish I could show you the
Well, I was trying to do it, which is what caused the delay.
but you see that picture of her on my thing. She was just a tiny thing. You could fit her in your hand.
Yeah,
Fit
yeah.
her in your hand, and you're like scared to touch it, because sometimes, like in the beginning, I couldn't touch her till like the first week because of the wires and the tubes, and to now see her like you saw on the front picture, the video. I wanted to do this first and then bring her out as a surprise, but she's 2 and she was just not cooperating. Again, a fighter, have her own
Yeah,
mind of what she
yeah,
wants
yeah.
to do. And just, it's just been divine. It has just been a divine blessing, Lloyd. I love you dearly. I mean, you've come to me with her therapy sessions. We have excellent therapists working with her. And I fight for Sarah. And you also have to fight for Sarah. And
And
it's
that's
funny because,
every day. Every day you do that. So,
yes,
what would you advise mothers that also have NICU babies?
they're going to have to keep the faith. This is going to really be a time that they need to keep the faith. I would say cry at home, because it's an emotional experience, because you want your baby home with you. You have to also visualize how you want the place to be. So what I did, and this was a real act of faith. So you're going to have to cry at home, but put on your armor of God, put on your war face when you get into that hospital, put on that celebration. I would say, yes, 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 Sarah, you're the best. Yes, 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 Sarah, you are blessed. And Sarah would hear me chant that in YouTube, and you would think she does not understand what I'm saying, but spiritually she felt me.
The subconscious.
Spiritually, her subconscious did. Her
Yeah.
subconscious did. And I walked out with faith that my baby was coming home. So I still had my celebration. I still planned instead of having a baby shower, we had to switch it to a celebration of life party. I still painted the room pink. I still put the purple carpet for royalty on the floor. I still decorated her room at home because I was calling her in. You're coming home. And remind you, they thought they was going to release her from her due date, get her back to due date. She came home, not February. She came home January. They thought she was going to be sometime middle of February. From the time she was born early, she'll be there for 4 months. She came a whole extra month early. That's how much I was visualizing her coming home to me. And so I was decorating. I was, faith. It's easy to have faith when you know what's at the end of the tunnel and everything is going good. It's hard to have faith when you don't see things not seen. So I was calling forth those things as though they were. And so me decorating the room, and some people's like, well, why do you want to decorate her room? You don't know if she's going to get out of the hospital. No, faith is having that trust, that knowing, that doing that action, that even though the circumstances may look like this, I still know the blessing. And that was very hard. So I would suggest mothers start decorating the rooms at home. And that's very hard to do when you're going back and forth to the doctors, but pretend that she's in your womb as if you have an imaginary umbilical cord still connected to you and that she's coming home with you. And doctors don't know everything. You have to take it with realism, right? Because they are there and they're there watching your child, but you also have to have your visualization. So at night, the doctors allowed me to play affirmations for her, play music for her, certain uplifting music, certain spiritual sounds, maybe just different, just different music melodies, sometimes hearing the ocean or just things like that as a calming effect, soothing effect, and having that meditation and playing small affirmations in the background, things like that. The hospital do allow that. And so you can have your baby even when you're away. I know it's pretty difficult now. I'm thinking to have babies in COVID. I was blessed to have her home before COVID hit. Yep. We ended up staying in a place at the time. We was blessed to be with a place called the Ronald McDonald House, which is amazing. I have a lot of respect for McDonald's and Ronald McDonald. I didn't know what Ronald McDonald was. They care for people that have, whether it's children in the hospital, family that's sick, children that have hospital, and they give them a beautiful hotel space. I mean, gorgeous breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They get so much volunteers that they're a nonprofit that has a surplus. So all the change that you see in the Ronald McDonald House, it helps millions of family around the U.S. And they provide it all for free. So we didn't have to go home. We could just went across the street and see our baby and come back and forth anytime. Now with COVID, I know the rules are much different now. But it was a blessing for us to be able to do that. But even wearing your mask, but it was funny because she was preparing me for COVID. She came early, but when we went in there, we had to sanitize, wear masks because there's babies here. So it was funny because we was like getting prepared, for COVID. Now this is like a routine thing, but you had to be extra clean. So I can only imagine what the rules and protocols at NICUs are now that COVID is in existence. One parent, different times, but at the time they even had brought Santa Claus to the NICU. It was really open, and they took a imprint of her toes on Christmas and put her toes on a mistletoe. I mean, my experience in the NICU, as much as we had the tough moments, we also had beautiful moments to celebrate as well. And they would put up a big sign on her bed. She gained the pound. She did this, and you'd be surprised how much 1 pound means to a baby.
Yes, it's so interesting what we take for granted initially until you go through what you have gone through.
Yes.
So this is one of the reasons why I don't know how we got on the idea of being a guest on the show, but to share. Yes. Because first of all, you're thinking about writing a book with NICU and numbers.
With you, of course. I know you're gonna write my opening.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Listen, you already know.
So how women who have mothers in this situation beyond the normal weight of a child coming into the world can handle it, because I guess some can get discouraged. But I know it's a very dedicated process. It's can you talk about that a moment? Because people think it's like once you got home, that's when the work really began.
Yes, yes, yes. All her therapies, because you want her to catch up. You will notice that your baby will have two ages. They'll have a preemie age, and then they'll have their actual age, right? So you have to not really compare them, because you have to set the clock back 4 months for her, and even more because she had to bleed just a couple of months back more just for her to catch up to her actual age. Actually, her actual age, 2-year-old age, just started, which is because she was due this week. February 4th, February 15th or 16th. So this week will be her catch-up age, even though her actual age of 2 was back in October 9th. So this will be, so you got to learn to like keep 2 ages in mind, and don't be so hard on yourself. You got an amazing miracle baby. And as some when I go to some hospitals and tell them that, and they look at her chart and they see how good she look, they already say they know I've put in the work. They can tell. They can tell. They're
like, in other words, if you're going to do it, be prepared to put in the work.
Be prepared to have a lot of prayer, some tears, and you be prepared to put in the work, put in the research, put in the work, put in the work. I mean, even with her brain, and maybe because she had to bleed, look how we found. I was researching about acupuncture, and wow, I found an amazing acupuncturist, and I was looking at it online. It was all the way in New Mexico, Lloyd. But this is back again, a mother's spirit, a mother's guidance, just God, or God in the universe, and all the ancestors just working together. And my mom, Sarah, and dad in heaven, working to Sarah for favor. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, this guy's in New Mexico. Do I have to go to New Mexico for this acupuncture? And so I went online and I went into like where his second office was. It's 15 minutes from my house. It's in Queens.
Yeah, you can't make that up.
You can't make that up. And he turned out to be, when I got on the phone with him, I said, hello, Dr. Todd. He was like, I told him my story. And he said, are you a nurse? I said, no. I said, I'm a mother who loves her child. I gave him, and much more of the story and the journey with Sarah. We will be on this show for, I don't want to take up so much of your time. We'll be on this show forever. But if I went through the whole journey, and we could do that. Maybe we should do that for Mother's Day. But he was like, are you a nurse? He said, you sound like a nurse, to be able to tell her. And I says, no, I'm a mother that loves her baby. And he said, well, before I start, I just want to see Sarah, 22-weeker bilateral brain. I want to see Sarah. And I let him see Sarah, and he couldn't believe how good she looked, how she understood touching her nose, her head, clapped her hands, pointed to the TV. He just couldn't believe it. And he said, you must work with this child. And he says, I want to do everything in my power to help you. He said, Sarah will be the youngest child. He usually starts at 4. He said, I've worked and do acupuncture on. He says, I feel like I have a role in this journey to help you. I would love to be on this journey with you. And I've been doing acupuncture once a week with her ever since. And then, I think you even came out.
Yeah, I came with you on one visit, and I says, and now I see him.
Yes.
And he has a very good spirit, and I observe how he did things and whatnot. And, so it's just amazing. What I want to do is I have somebody that wanted to be on just a second. And everybody, if they don't know this brother, I don't know who doesn't know him. His name is
Simon. Yes.
Happy birthday to y'all. Happy birthday to y'all. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to
Aquarians. King Simon, I heard you're an Aquarian too.
Yes, I am, and I'm gonna drink for that.
Aquarian.
Wait, you share the same birth? You same the same birth? What is your birthday? February what?
1st.
Oh, so you're like my daughter. You're air and fire.
Yes, and my son is born the same day you're born. One of my first sons is born the same day you're born.
January 23rd.
Yes, he is.
I said my birthday's easy as 1, 2, 3.
Exactly. Hey, Lloyd, what's up?
Lloyd.
Well, I had a talk with Simon this morning, and he bribed me to do this, and I just said, okay, I'll do this. But let me say this, because I said I would talk bad about you, and then I'm gonna get back to this beautiful woman and what she has to say about her beautiful daughter. But
Yes,
Simon,
beautiful,
because
beautiful
of time,
story.
and this platform that y'all see me on, that y'all see every week, thanks, Simon. Simon actually revived the metaphysical community. I'm telling it the way it is. I don't know whether that's a samosa or whoever mother that is. Okay.
We celebrating, brother.
Listen, it's the age of Aquarius. We are taking over.
Hey. We celebrate.
But Simon, for example, actually in part revived my career and interest because the metaphysical community was waning. He was the one that brought Dr. Delbert Blair out, Dr. Sabi, Dr. Africa, all these who now going on to the ancestors and other people. And so my first presentation of a PowerPoint was at his thing in Nicholas in Brooklyn.
Yes.
And that's all because my third love, other than numerology and astrology, is palmistry, the study of the hands. Okay. Yeah. So Simon has done quite a bit. And the thing I love about my brother, he is my brother, is the fact that when I asked for something, he was never afraid to share. I find that rare. I find that. Simon, how you get on the platform? This is how the guest that's going to be on after you got on, because I saw this person on. I said, how can I get to Simon? Gave me the number without hesitation. I called her, met her mom.
Humanitarian at its finest.
Yeah. So, I'm very indebted. So all this technology, in that sense, thank this brother right here. Because he did not have to. He could have kept it to himself. Because I've had that experience when I was going and trying to get something. Everybody kept it like it was all gold and stuff like that. But he had no problem sharing.
But Lloyd, you never have problems sharing your wisdom with the world.
No, he doesn't.
That's what in 1988 when I heard you on the radio, and I knew of you before, but in '88 when I finally came out of that Muslim community of Bushwick Avenue and came over to started listening to radio again, you was one of the first voice that pulled me in. And of course, I called in on my birthday in '89, and you read me like a book on Gary Burns. And that was it. That after studying numbers and different religions and all that, when I got to that number, that was it, brother. That was it. I want to tell everybody, those that see me and know me, they always know that I shout you out because I love to acknowledge the family and acknowledge the person that helped me throughout my life path and my growth and my, to the point I got 4 books and 6 more books coming. And it's just amazing. And I'm proud of your journey, our journey, her journey, all the people that you touched around the world. It's not just, that's why you call the world renowned Lloyd astronumerologist.
That's what you do, Simon.
And I love that Simon, you give him his flowers now. We give him his flowers now, not later. You've been celebrating. I've been trying to connect with you for a long time, Simon. But you give Lloyd his flowers now, and it's not even like men are in competition. It's like this is he's just been an angel to you, and Lloyd has been such an angel to me. I never knew I had to use these numbers more than saving my daughter's life and really lining it up. I wish the pictures, I had told you the pictures earlier of the numbers of her temperature down to 36.9, 36 and 9. It was just guidance that you are at the right place at the right time. You are on the right path.
Yep.
In perfect harmony with the universe. And so it is. And so God bless you, King Simon. I'm happy to see you one-on-one.
Simon was one of the first persons. I had been teaching since the 70s, okay?
Wow.
But things was totally, totally different. But when Simon came along, I was at a point of my sophistication in this where I would say, Simon, you need to publish a book. This brother went on to 4, and he's got 6 on the back burners. And to this day, I will admit, the one title that I love, I don't care, Simon, I'll say it till I rot, okay? His book, Numbers are simple, people are complicated.
People are complicated.
I got so jealous.
But you're the master teacher, Simon. You're the master teacher, Lloyd.
Because numbers are simple. It's the people that are complicated. Okay?
Yes.
Exactly.
Everyone's just like, so that's all I can say.
Well,
Simon, I know you got a show. How can people tune in tonight? You got something going on tonight, right?
I got a show with another number 9 that you spoke about your daughter born on the night. Another number 9, but she's born September 9th. I got Dr. Belkis, formerly known as Queen Neat, as you remember, Lloyd. That's her. So I got her coming in talking about procrastinations in the panties. Woo! Yeah. Well, it's about people suffering from trauma from their womb. So we're gonna deal with that.
Okay. Wow. That sounds deep.
Yeah, it's gonna get
very deep.
It's gonna Need. I'm gonna have to connect you with Need. You remember Need from back in the day?
Yeah.
So I got her coming on.
I've been reaching out to you now about having your guest on my show.
Hey, I got no problem sharing, brother. Look. I was a reggae artist back in the day, and it was because someone opened up the way for me to be on radio, to be on a stage. That's why I always open the way for other people, new artists, new speakers, all of that. That's how I do it.
Yeah, when I was introduced to radio, they didn't ask what was your credentials. Did I have radio or background experience? I was just blessed, and this is why I try to get people on, to give them a shot. You got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Everybody can't go to no radio and television announcing school. So ours is what is called homegrown.
Homegrown.
And like I said, in 5th grade, the substitute teacher had your book, and I had no clue that I was gonna circle back and you was gonna be such a big influence, being the godfather of my child. I just remember him saying, "You got to get a hold of this book." He was coming every day and read it.
Simon says the same thing. You got to get this book.
I got to get the book. Gotta get the book. I tell. That's why in all my books, he's like number 1 on the when I say I got recommended reading. Lloyd's book is always in my recommended reading list.
Yes,
always.
Thanks, Simon.
No matter where I am. But let's party or get on out of here. I gotta see y'all.
Yes, you do. 3 Aquarians in the building.
Happy birthday to both of you.
Happy birthday to
That brother needs some counseling, okay?
You know what? I love his energy, and I know you've always been trying to connect us because I do accounting, and I know we're going to work really well together.
Everything in due time. Everything
in due time, but
I will say
it's just a blessing to see himself. That is what us Aquarians do. We really are big humanitarians. So I'm not surprised he doesn't mind sharing. You've been sharing with the world for years, and now you've been blessing me with the opportunity this is the first time I'm really going into intricate details. You already know, I'm not even going as intricate as you've been on this journey with me. But just sharing my story to uplift many mothers out there that's going through the NICU. So of course you're going to be writing the opening word of my book, NICU in Numbers. I couldn't choose anybody. It's not even a thought process.
Thank you. But for all mothers who happen to have NICU babies, be prepared. You're going to have highs and lows, peaks and valleys, because there were times when you were just smiling and whatnot. Then another time you were absolutely in tears.
Yes.
So, it's really a roller coaster journey that people don't understand unless they go through it. But hopefully over time, people begin to appreciate it. But if you are the type who does have a child that's really into the grams or 22 weeks and just slightly above that, you're going to have to be prepared to put in the work.
Yes. And you have to be prepared to make fighting decisions for her. She's already a fighter, but she got a fighting mother behind her swinging until she's, of age to grow into her own likeness. But I fight for that little girl, just getting the right therapist, the right team. If you see a therapist that's not really working with your child coming in, you really going to just have to really analyze. And then they're only here for half an hour, right? You really going to have to implement the work, read, educate yourself on, the challenges of some preemies, or maybe the challenges that your preemie may be facing. You're going to have to put in faith. I guess faith without works is dead. Is that what they say, Lloyd? Like that's
amen on that one. Amen on that one, definitely.
So I definitely been putting in the work as far as researching, always studying myself. I never thought I would be in a situation where I'm studying how the mind works, how the brain works, and how the meridians and what points in the brain makes it stronger. And
that's why the acupuncture doctor asked you, were you a nurse?
That's what he asked me. He said, are you a nurse? And I said, and I was so excited to call him because I was watching this video at like 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night on a Sunday night. So when I saw the second office 15 minutes from my house, I just hit the button, called to see what, and I didn't expect someone to pick up. He was like, hello. I normally don't answer on a Sunday night, but who's called? And I said, are you an acupuncturist? The video I saw in New Mexico, did you learn? He says, yes, I studied with that teacher. And I said, I'm so sorry to call you so late at night, but I told him my story, and he was like, are you a nurse? And I said, no, I'm a mother that loves her baby. And he said, come in next week. He gave me a date. He said, I won't even charge you. He said, I just want you to come in next week, and I want to just see, can I work with her? And when he saw her, he was amazed.
Well, you are an amazing woman. In fact, before I let you go, I wanted, since we don't have Sarah here, I did take two little pictures of Minnie that you shared with me. Can you tell about this one?
Yes, that's her. She's at Halloween. She thought she was Wonder Woman. I do think she's a superhero in real life. So she was going to a Halloween party and she was dressed up as Wonder Woman.
Wow, that's nice. And let me tell you,
and she's really a fighter in real life, so she's my superhero in real life. So
yeah, and I have one more because she's now in school.
Yes. And I'm telling you, from 750 grams, you know, it's just a miracle. It's just a miracle. So this was her first day of school. It was early in the morning, like 6:30, getting ready for 7 in the morning. We took our first day to school. And believe it or not, she is definitely an air sign, loving to be around people. Because as much as I thought she was going to cry and miss me, she went right on in and saw those other kids and started to bond. And I was calling the school like, is everything with Sarah? He said, Sarah's having a blast. Sarah's, you know, us air sign, we love to socialize, especially Libras. They love being around people, love being around I understand Libras very well. And I was like, they're so balanced. And she's already made a friend.
I know this. I definitely come to Queens. I have never been to Queens in all my life, many more times than when this little princess was born. So I'll come there and I'll say, Rick, is it okay? Jennifer, is it okay? And whatnot. And in fact, that was when I met you, went with you and Sarah to the acupuncture doctor. And I was so impressed with him because acupuncture deals with the meridian. Chinese medicine has a whole different philosophy,
whole different science in the Western
around the body. And so I've been going to him ever since then. So it's been a nice thing. But to see Sarah, I wish people could see, she smiles and she gives me hugs. She gives me kisses. Like, listen, I'm too thrilled. That's all I can tell you.
I really wish you would have posted a picture of y'all both having acupuncture.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, we had names
all up in our heads, That's a picture. You know what I mean? What is going on? Like, I'm right here with you. Godfather is right here with you. That's what that showed me.
Yeah.
Actually, I should have sent you back to your own picture that you took, because that's a picture to put up, because it just shows how strong you both are. Y'all had the needles and the pens and just.
I take my Godfather role seriously.
Oh yes. I called you. She said she was fighters. I called her godmother. Godmother said, who you going to trust now, Jenny? Are you going to trust man or are you going to trust God? Which one you going to go with? Are you going to go with man? Man's telling you to terminate based on their science books. They're not trying to give you bad advice, but based on it. But are you going to show them what God has showed you? We could switch science. We could switch that. And I said, okay.
And look what you would have missed out on had you did.
Oh my God, yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it indicates to anybody, whether it's a NICU situation or anything, never give up the faith in anything.
Never give up. And just thinking about this, your child's in the hospital and you're painting the walls pink. Or if it's a boy, you're painting the walls blue or, neutral or yellow, whatever, and decorating as if they're already coming home before they're coming. You're calling them in. So they understand you, even when you're at the NICU looking at your baby in sadness. When I saw mothers looking at their crying, looking at their babies in pity, because it's hard to look at someone that small and try to visualize someone, a year, 2 years down the road, what it's going to be. You saw the oxygen numbers on the baby go down when you showed you didn't believe in them. And I don't let Sarah ever feel like I don't ever let her feel like she, baby her. She when I was feeding her, she snatches the spoon. I want to feed myself. I'm not an invalid. I want to feed myself. So I let her do that. I let her feed herself. when she falls or something, I don't say, oh, poor Sarah. And it's easy for me to say that because of how far she's come and how delicate she is compared to the average, the typical, baby that has come, didn't have to go through the NICU, that was full term, and didn't have to do therapies or whatever. But I push her as if, no, you're going to do this. You can do it. You can talk, you can walk, you can move. You're in school. We put her in the 2-year-old class before her preemie catch-up age. So you really have to keep that attitude as well. And that's how you create very strong children. I noticed, I read somewhere that if good parenting, and this is something I'm still working on because I think about Sarah all the time and I try and answer everything for Sarah. It said good parenting is not always giving everything to your child or letting them fall, let them fail, because then they will always resent you when in the real life they have a challenge and they fall. And so how you create healthy, strong children is knowing that they have a spirit destiny, knowing that, not looking at them as, oh, poor them. They chose to come through that channel. They also chose. And that was also hard for me to kind of wrap my mind on, that she would choose this, like she knows well-being. We just have to see it and we just have to foster it.
I know this, with all that she's going through, that is the happiest little baby. Okay.
Yes.
And all I know is she sees me, she give me the biggest smile, a hug. It's like, listen.
Yes. When I took her to daycare, they said, is she always happy like this? And I'm like, they said, because there's some kids in here that's visible. And I said, she comes from a lot of love. She has a lot of love around her. Yeah. All she know, they said, all she want to do is hug and kiss and just hug you. And she said, trying to tell, that's not the real world. I said, that's the real world of who? Not for her. Not in this
That's
household.
Her benchmark. That's her benchmark. A big smile, a big hug, and then she throws the
they said, when she has to play the other kids, she just want to lay under the teacher and hug. I said, that's her reality. That's her reality here. But it's just giving her so much training, so much independence, different socializations. It's building up, and it's giving me a break. Another thing that mothers need to do is have me time. You could get so buried into studying and researching and learning different new things and growing with them, that you have to remember to take time back again for yourself. And if I'm not strong, how can I be strong for Sarah? So just learning to step back. And if you have good family units or just a good daycare center, just to step back and really letting go and letting God is, I was like, oh, is she really going to keep up with her classes? And don't even worry about it, because Sarah has her own destiny. This is where I had to say, let her fall. If she can't, she will figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
She will figure it out. Exactly. She will figure it out. And that will make her stronger. Me saying, oh, no, don't do this. Let me send her back home so she could work with me. No, let her fall. Let her figure it out. They said she gonna figure it out. And
that's why Sarah was born to you and Rick. Okay.
Yes.
Listen, I want to thank you very, very much for joining me. I hope I didn't keep too much time, but
no, I've enjoyed it. I can't believe the time has went as far as it did.
Yeah, tell Rick I said hi. Definitely give baby Sarah my best. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be seeing her soon at some point.
Thank you. We love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And what I'm going to do is in a moment, let's see something. In a moment, I'm going to have, I'm waiting for my next guest to come on. But while I'm waiting for her to come on, I want to mention a couple of things. First of all, again, I want to thank this lady, Jackie Barrios, and I suspect she's the one that put up that blast on Instagram of me saying happy birthday and Stevie Wonder singing happy birthday. I'll call her later to find out, but I think it was her, okay? Trying to get in my detective role. And also I want to thank her assistant, Jazz, they're both from Philly, who put my website together. It was Jackie that got the photo shoot. So when you see me with my bookshelf with the books behind me and my lavender shirt, which is one of my favorite colors other than green and white and cream. All of this came from these two ladies. And again, for those that missed it, these are the people that have made it possible for me to have a successful show. Every single one of them. There has not been one of them, I kid you not, There has not been one of these guests that I haven't had on the show that I haven't walked away with a little bit more knowledge than when I came on. And I mean, and the cross section of everybody. I'm going to have other guests on. I've had Oracle on twice. I've had Rebels Bay, Kaya Friends, Kalia Washington, Nikki Monty, Jackie Levine. But I mean, and of course, Iana Van Zandt. But the point is, I'm going to have not a lot of them on again, but I'm also going to have new people too. So in the meantime, I'm waiting for my special guest. Hopefully, she should be coming on soon. I just texted and paged her. Okay, let's see. There's a couple of things I want to do to show you how people have evolved. Okay. Um, this is the person that I'm going to have on in a moment. Her name is Nina Diamond. She is the most remarkable woman I've had the pleasure to meet in some time. Okay, and what happened is, I saw this woman, Aquarius Maximus, and I kept following her and how she would make these assessments with the cards. Right, I was familiar with the tarot cards, and I knew the regular cards also had something too. But then I asked Simon, can I call her? We talk. Come to find out, her mother and grandfather listened to my show back in the day, which shows you how small this world is. Like my last guest, Jennifer, had been introduced to my book when she was in the 5th grade. And she's a grown woman married with a beautiful daughter. Okay. So it goes to show you how things work, folks. You never, 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 never know. But anyway, this beautiful lady, Nina Diamond, you got to hear how she does it. I don't know, but this is so. I just says, well, since this is Valentine weeks, because why it's my birthday, so I'm gonna do that too. Although I call it keeping it under wraps until Jackie kind of put it out there. But anyway, um, reaching to this lady here, you're gonna find out. I'm saying, okay, so since the Namaswami was talking about relationships in the stars, she talks about relationships in the cards because each day you're born on represents a card symbol. And the way she breaks it down is absolutely awesome. So she will be joining us soon. And I did hear from her. So while she does this, let me say thanks to other people. Hold on one second. There we go. Um, what happens when I first started versus now is that many of the guests have written books. So I want to introduce some of the books that people have written that has been on this show. And so this way you see, first of all, Brother Rebels Bay, he's written more books than this, but he was my first guest. When I met Rebels Bay, it was at the Tree of Life bookstore in Harlem on December the 7th of 1978. Dig it, 1978, all right? And so what the thing about Rebels Bay, Francis Rebels Bay, is this, that he was not only my first guest star when I came to radio in 1981, he was my last guest when I left in 2001. Okay. When I did this platform, you know who my first guest was? Fine. All right. Rebels Bay. And so Nina is joining us. So she'll be with us in a moment. So I just want to take a second. This is King Simon's books. I just want to go through the books a second. This is King Simon. In all these books. This is Lorenzo Sanford, who did the book on astrology. This is my buddy Brandon Smith that wrote the book on Namaste to Numbers about the Bible. People always knocking it. And this is from Jackie Levine, who wrote Knocking from the Inside. And it's really a mystery wrapped up in a riddle of numbers, okay, for lack of a better way of putting it. And so this is her book. And in fact, it was because of this young lady that her expertise in coding has now exposed me across this planet with registered over 3,100 students in 70 countries with over 25 languages is transferred, which I tell my students, even then in the 70s, numbers are universal, and all she did was help prove it. This one is by Hood Mystic, okay? I'm just because I want you to get their books, all right? Because I got a special, and she's ready too. I see you, Nina, okay? So we're going to have her in just a minute. This is by Mama Mystic, His wife. They wrote, I had her on womb. All of you, if you can, go and look at some of the reviews of some of these guests I've had on, and you walk away. This is by Coach Edwards, a book on hypnosis and whatnot. I've got exceptional people. This book is by my beautiful daughter, Eat, who's a vegetarian, raw vegetarian. That's her book. This one is by Marius Aquarius Maximus. Thank you. And she's wrote a book about understanding how the cards is. She gave a boot camp. And my guest is also going to be demonstrating some of the things she's going to be having. This is from John Edwards, okay, that I've had him on from the famous Crossing Over series. This is from Queen Afua, alrighty, who was on the show. This is from Goddess Kaya French, who wrote a book on the journal. So please do this. This is the lady that had the book on hair, understanding hair textures, styles, and stuff like that. This is from Oracle. You know that all these books they've done from the heart, they've done from spirit, and there's something motivates them. Never when I was coming up doing this had people even thought about writing this, much less looking like us. But this is a fact of reality. And this one here is by my buddy Dominic Holmes, who is going to be back on soon. And he's a beautiful brother. In fact, I don't have nobody on here that's not beautiful, really. Okay. So now, without further ado, let me get this straight, because we are going to have some fun. At least I am, since it's my birthday that's been put on blast. Okay, here we go.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Nina Diamond, how are you, beautiful lady? Thank you so much. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you as a guest. As I was explaining to people, this week is Valentine week, so they're about relationships. And, you know, I had the Number Swami on Monday talking astrologically about where a man's Venus is to understand attractions to women, where a woman's Mars is, they're understanding their attractions to men. You do something in a way that's absolutely amazing. I don't know how you do it. She's, in fact, I'm going to put last first. Aren't you having a show coming up soon on YouTube?
Yeah, I have a show tomorrow on YouTube on relationships. Yeah.
What time is it?
It is at 8, 7. Is it 8? Oh, it's 8. I think it's 8. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's your number because you ate a diamonds in your birthday.
All right.
That makes sense.
I have been so busy that I really need to write these things down, right?
And you know what's amazing is tomorrow is the 17th, and 1 + 7 is 8.
Oh wow!
It's another coincidence, I'm sure.
It's the 8 of diamonds.
Yes, and that's your birth card, the 8 of diamonds. So I think it is very, very appropriate. Now, is it going to be about relationships or instructional, or have you got an idea?
Oh yeah, it's going to be about people calling in, calling in all things relationships, asking questions, looking at matches, all things that people ask me all the time. Relationships is the main thing that people asked about. Whenever I'm doing readings, they always want to know about combinations and, especially how to find that special person. And it is definitely in the cards. So yeah, we're going to talk about that for sure.
That's interesting. It's in the cards. I've heard that saying so many times because, I've used it. People with cards with like Big Whiz and, whatever the case is, but bingo, whatever. But for you to take this to a more metaphysical level, how did you get started with this?
I started with this, with astrology and numerology, definitely out of curiosity. When I was younger, we were always, whenever you met somebody, it was always, what's his sign, So always was into astrology. But, like you said earlier, one day I came home and my dad was listening to you on the radio. And he was like, Neen, you got to listen to this. This is real interesting. And from then, I was into the, just the numbers then. And this, later on in life, probably 20-something years ago, I got introduced to cardology. So they all come together, they all tie together very well.
Yeah, well, I know that you that invited me to a private session recently, And the way you was explaining the cards and the numbers, I says, that's like numerology wrapped in cards, or cards wrapped in numbers. Call it what you will, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
now
because
we go,
it's definitely based on the science, and they're definitely based on the science of numbers. That's they're the attributes are the numbers, then it's the suits, and then the planets. So you put all of that together and it gives you your card. So yeah, numerology it is extremely important in cardology, because we know, from the ace to the king, we know what are the solar values of it and all of the indications that are pointing back to numerology.
well, I had a course. I mean, did you explain? It was absolutely amazing. But before we open up the phone so people can, or the chat line so people can find out about their relationship card wise, question: can you just briefly describe what each suit is? What does spades represent? What does diamonds represent? What does clubs and hearts represent? Can you just do
Mhm.
that briefly, and then we'll just open it up?
Yeah, we start with hearts, and hearts are the babies, and it represents the circulatory, and it represents what we're pouring from. When we think of hearts, we think of emotions, we think of relationships, we think of all of those things. So the heart is representative of that youthful time of your life, babies, and it's how we pour into ourselves and then how we pour into others. And then clubs, those are the workers. Their clubs are more youthful, and they represent the air. So clubs are about your communications, and then diamonds are the teenagers and the supervisors, and they represent the needful things the desires and stuff that we have in life. And then spades, they represent everything. Spades are unique because they have all of the suits in them, and they're the seniors. So they are, you know, extremely powerful people. They would be the wizards of life. They're able to use all of the suits, when they know how to unlock them. So the spades are really the powerhouse. And we're in spade season right now. And that starts in January. So we get a chance to see how powerful spades are. Because for a lot of people, spades can be difficult. That can be, it's the winter, and you're inside more and stuff like that. So spades can be something that's a little difficult for people, but they're extremely powerful, more spiritual, more adept at things. And definitely you want to know about the spades in your suit, because they're the fire. Spades are that spark. When we think about how we till the soil and farming and stuff like that, they use spade to break open the soil. So you want to know about your spades and your spread, because that's what you're going to use to activate yourself. So you want to know what that spade is telling you, where it's sitting, whether it's sitting in Saturn, if it's, because that's your reputation. So how you handle that spade is going to be, very important. So yeah, it's just, we could go on forever and ever and ever.
No, I've seen you in action, and I have to agree. It's amazing because you founded Cardology University on Clubhouse, and you've been doing it continuously every day for over a year, I think.
Yeah, it's been
And
a
now
year.
it's been voted one of the top 10 clubs in Clubhouse. And you did that single-handedly, of course, with your crew, the tribe, the members, or whatever the reference may
The
be.
family.
Family, yeah, they're, whatever. But also, I want to let people know I've showed books, but also Nina has her own planner.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's it right there. And in fact, it's available on Amazon. And in fact, I've ordered my book. I'm just waiting patiently to get mine. What inspired this book?
Cardology is so dope. It's when we have the energy of the day. Every day has a card. And then you have your card. So when you get a chance to see what the energy of the day is like, for me, it's like when you go out in the world, everything is happening, and you like, I know today's a 9 of diamonds. So because it's a 9 of diamonds, I know how to act accordingly. So I
Uh-huh.
always bought a planner, and then I would do the planner for the year with all of my cardology stuff in it. And I said a couple of years ago, I'm gonna make my own planner. And me and Angel came together and we were able to do it this year because I make the planners into Cardology planners. I said, so just make your own planner. So that's how it
makes
came
perfect
about.
sense to me. It makes perfect sense. So,
Mhm.
in other words, when they receive your planner, when I get your planner, what I do is it will follow all the days from January the 1st to
Mhm.
December 31st.
Mhm.
And I would assume it gives a kind of a brief description about what
It
each day represents.
yeah, there are different things in there that tell you about different cards and stuff like that. But it's more of a discovery. It's more of you using it to discover more about yourself in the cards. It's a planner, but it's a workbook planner. You know,
Uh-huh.
you will look up your cards and all of those kind of things. The next one, we're doing it differently, but this one was just to see how people, really would receive really a planner, so, but it's
Mhm.
being received pretty well. So the next one is definitely going to be a little bit more, it's going to have a little bit more in it, the next one.
Before we turn it over to the people who want to find out what's in their cards,
Mm-hmm.
today is a 9 of diamond. What does
Mm-hmm.
that mean in today's energy? Good, bad, and
Well,
indifferent?
yeah, the 9 of diamonds is one of those cards. It's a very you are the personification of the 9 of diamonds, especially what you were talking about, a promoter. 9 of diamonds, nines have that service, that humanitarian spirit about them. But the 9 of diamonds is about resources. So you use people as resources, connecting people and making sure that the behind the scenes things. When nines
Mhm.
appear in our spread, it's an indication of something cycling. It's an indication of something happening. And it's an indication of there may be an ending, but endings are good. Endings mean
Mhm.
beginnings. The
Mhm.
9 of diamonds is traveling from the ace of diamonds to the 9 of diamonds. And when you get to that 9 of diamonds, it's wish fulfillment. So all of the work that you've done along the way, now you get a chance to stand in it and you get a chance to look at it and you get a chance to really embody it as you're stepping into that 10 of diamonds. Because the 10 of diamonds is the card of viral. So the 9 of diamonds is a viral card. It's like it takes things and it just takes off. And that's what pretty much all nines, but the 9 of diamonds, because of where it's sitting in Uranus. And we know that Uranus is about the collective. So the 9 of diamonds has that collective energy of bringing people together. So you're in the you're in the numerology community, the metaphysics community. So
Mhm.
you bring people together in that community and then they go out and it's that cycle with that 9 of diamonds because nines they're cycling, they're replicating, and they're constantly ciphering. So you're always meeting people and connecting people and doing what you're doing.
And I got to be honest, I enjoy it too. I've been blessed to meet so many people,
Mm-hmm.
and how everything is connected, not knowing how things are connected. It just seemed to be how my life has worked. And I love to give unconditionally, although people think I want something. Yes, I do. I want them to succeed. I want them to be
Right,
successful.
right, right,
That doesn't
right,
sound complicated to me. Okay.
right.
So I think that's interesting. And I think the way you were demonstrating, I'm a Uranus Mars,
You
the way it's
sit
positioned
in
in the life
yeah,
path, the life,
the 9 of diamonds,
life
yes.
spread.
And Uranus, yes. So you're a person that, once you get started, it's a wrap. Sometimes it's a 9, so it can take time for you to get in, get that movement going. But when Mars you get started, it's like, okay, that's when you're like, okay, I see this. It's like you're here, you're there, and you're looking at how you can bring it together. It's like, how can I bring all these points together? I see all of these things. Now I want to bring them together. And it's the energy of the 9 of diamonds.
Well, let me see. We're going to
I
go.
can't see the chat. I do not know how you do that. I'm like,
Well,
how?
first of all, I checked. It says comments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then when I check comments, it will then tell me, like here, I press this one, and then you see it at the bottom of the screen. See, and
But
shade day.
underneath me, you know how they were scrolling when you were doing them. When I come on here, then I don't see them anymore. Like I don't see everybody's chat scrolling on my thing.
I don't see it either. The
Oh,
only
okay,
time I
okay.
see it The only time I see it is when I then go back and look at it through
Okay.
YouTube,
Cool.
and then I can see everybody scrolling.
Cool.
Sometimes people can actually see it on their end. I don't see it
Okay.
unless I I have anyway. What we're gonna start, I'm gonna work backwards this time. This person, Jackie Jackie Washington, personality driven or personally driven. She's born September the 12th. What would you say about her?
Well, September the 12th makes her, and it is just so interesting how the cards follow. The cards follow you because September the 12th makes her Queen of Clubs, and that's my Jupiter card. So my Queen of Clubs is always showing up where, in some form or fashion in my life because it's a very powerful card for me to learn. Jupiter is the blessing, it's the expansion, it's the higher consciousness, and it's the higher knowledge. And that's the Queen of Clubs. The Queen of Clubs is an extremely powerful card, being a royal card, being a court card. But because it's a club, it's a card that is here to use its voice and to use its voice in the world, to use its voice. I always think of the Queen of Clubs as giving the hug to the world. It's like wanting to take care of the world. They have a very powerful life path. They are extremely metaphysical, extreme, when they start something, if whatever it is that they're starting, they're going to be people that you're going to see all kind of books, they're going to be building it out, learning everything that they possibly can because they have a powerful Ace of Spades, and the Ace of Spades is a card of metaphysical sciences. And the Queen of Clubs is one person that I know uses that very well. Now, they can be very secretive.
I don't know why you
but
do this. Go ahead. As you were saying, I'm sorry, dear.
They can be very secretive, but they definitely hold certain things to their vest. But when it comes to, it comes to sharing that knowledge and that information, but they're excellent. Just saying that their psychic abilities are bar none, pretty much somebody that you really want to be mindful around them because they definitely will smell you out. The Queen of Clubs is definitely a powerful card. So anything to do with metaphysical sciences is something that they will definitely gravitate to. Cardology for sure.
Next is Shebe, and she says, much light to all. She's born November the 23rd, 73 at 7:06 p.m. Anything that gets communicated.
Well, she's a 10 of hearts, and the 10 of hearts it's a card that you want to have around when you're doing something, family gatherings, anything along that line, because that energy brings the party. It's Michael Jackson's card. It's a powerful card. It sits in a very powerful placement. And it definitely, when you go someplace and it's popping and everybody is having a good time, there's a 10 of hearts somewhere. It's either 10 of hearts day, 10 of hearts something, because it's the card of coming together. Because it's a 10, it's the power of the 10. And because of the heart, it's that emotionality that 10 of hearts has in gatherings of food and just entertainment and having, really good fun. It's definitely an interesting life path because they have the 10 of diamonds in Mercury. So they have this double power. So they would be people that command something. They have a command about them. And if they know how to handle it, extremely powerful people. But they will be people like we see with Michael Jackson that may feel put upon. They may feel that people want a lot from them and don't really appreciate that they need to. You know how you have some things in life that maybe you may need help with, but people may be like, oh, no, you got this. That would be the 10 of hearts.
This person here is born, Shay, born on August the 11th of 87. What say you about her?
17th.
Yes, the 17th. August 17th.
They're a 9 of clubs, and that's the card. The 9 of clubs is definitely one of those interesting cards. It's the card of 1111, and it is definitely, whenever we see those numbers, we think about the portals that open, and the 9 of clubs is definitely one of those portals. It's a card of universal knowledge, and like all nines, it has that philanthropy attached to it. Nine of Clubs is a card of Cardology. Your life is, you definitely have a powerful life path. Very, what would you say, charismatic people, definitely very, what would you call, how would I say, relationship wise, very sensual people. And Nine of Clubs is somebody that people are always attracted to, the opposite sex. And it's a very sensual card. They have a very powerful life path, but they have a lot of losses in life because they have a nine of spades and Mercury. So their childhood can be riddled with losses and, disappointments and stuff. But as they grow and they mature and learn how to let go of things, then they don't have it as difficult. But they will have losses in their life.
You teach people how to do this, don't you, Nina?
For sure. Yeah, we have a university and we're on Clubhouse every day.
And what time every day? Can you give us the schedule
Clubhouse,
so people can tune in? First of all, what's the name so people can find it once they go to Clubhouse, if for those that are not familiar with that platform and such?
We're on 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. My club is the Astrology Club. And you just, it's when you click on it's usually the first one. If you go and look for astrology, is usually the first club that comes up. And we are on the weekends at 8 on Saturday and 10 a.m. on Sunday. But we're on 7 days a week and definitely building a community, learning together. One thing about metaphysical science is astrology, not so much, but you wanted somebody to talk to. The more you talk about it, the more you hear your voice, the more confidence you get in your intuition. It's not something that I find that you want to be, you studying is fine, but we have study groups and we have different things that we do because we know that the more we talk about it, I don't care what I'm doing. Anytime I'm talking about something, if somebody asks me something, I learn something new. I learn something new every time. It's always evolving. It's never going to be a time where I think I will ever get bored with metaphysical sciences.
Well, that's interesting. Before you came on, I flashed every person that has been on my show to date. And I said the same thing. There's not one guest that I haven't had on this program so far that I haven't walked away a little bit wiser from the experience of having them on. No exceptions. Now, here's Tiffany. She said, well, we touched on it, but Tiffany says her birth card is a 9 of diamonds. So she sounds like she might be from the astrology club.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, you can definitely find out all of the information on the internet now. But yeah, 9 of diamonds, that's Lloyd's card. Y'all are definitely people that people want to have around. The 9 of diamonds will normally know people. They are people. 9 of diamonds is a card of viral, and it definitely is an indication of something happening, something cycling through your life. And if you hit it just right, like today, there's something that went viral today. Something out there in the world went viral today. If you hit it just right, people just run with it. It's that spark that it has. And it's because it has a 7 of spades in Mercury. That 7 of spades is a powerful card. That 7 of spades is about the ancestors. It's that spiritual money. It's that spiritual protection. So people know the 9 of diamonds have something that has to do with, helping them get that bag. Because the transformation card to the 7 of spades is the 8 of diamonds. So that 9 of diamonds has that, when you look in the Mercury, sitting in Mercury with that 7 of spades, it's emotional and it's non-binary and it's non-judgmental. So the 9 of diamonds are interesting people. They love people. They love all kinds of people. So people are comfortable with them because of the life path. It's like they love odd and unusual people. So yeah, you're definitely a person.
Interesting. I've had a very interesting life where I know there's something that has divinely protected me on a couple of occasions.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go into the whole history, but
yeah,
there's a whole reason that I count my blessings every day.
Yeah,
Because when you realize it, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Now we have this next person, Charlene Adams, 10-10-64. Now to me, what's interesting, she's born on the 10th, month. She's born on the 10th day, and she's born in the year that ends in 64, which is the 10th. So she's a triple 10 across the board to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's another queen of clubs.
Really?
Yeah, the Queen of Clubs is definitely gonna show up wherever I'm at. Queen of Clubs is gonna show up because it's my Jupiter card, and it's giving. Just your Jupiter card is your blessing. It's giving to you. So whenever it just lets me know that the universe is just doing some amazing stuff here right now. Because that's the second Queen of Clubs, and the Queen of Clubs is a powerful card. The Queen of Clubs. The thing about the Queen of Clubs is they don't want to sacrifice. They may have that, they're always called to do certain things. Or because they have the Jack of Hearts and Pluto, which is the Christ principle, that people see that. People can feel your energy and your heart, and they can use it to their advantage. The Queen of Clubs has to say no because the Christ was here to teach us. Christ showed us how to do things with the activation. It's like showed us how to eat, showed us how to do all of the things. But the stories are never of the Christ physically doing anything other than touching something, right? So Queen of Clubs is here to activate you, not to do the work. The Queen of Clubs has to learn how to pull back and let things happen. If someone is coming to you, I always say you do that litmus test. If I have what you need, then I give it to you. If I don't, I have to say no. The Queen of Clubs has to learn how to say no.
Interesting. Somebody responded, evidently your Cardology plan is sold out on Amazon, but they can get it on your website?
No.
Well, that's where you see it at the bottom of the screen. It says sold out on Amazon. She has it on her website. This is Northern Lights. I don't know what
I'm just like, Angel, you must check this, Angel. Oh my God. How can a book sell out?
Easy.
That's got to be a typo. I'm just like, on the 9 of Diamonds day.
Yes. And your name is Diamond. And that's what you're affectionately known in your club, Diamond. I, for whatever reason, just like the name Nina Diamond. There's something that resonates. I got to do a numerical description on that name. There's got to be a reason for it. But your website. Now, what that brings to, in fact, let me put up the banner so people can see what's going on. These are the services that is offered of how you can get in touch with this beautiful sister, Nina Diamond. She's a cardologer and author of Cardology Planner, lecturer. Her site is cardologyuniversity.academy. Is this where they go to audiobook? Okay, it's right there, cardologyuniversity.academy. Venmo, you know how I feel about Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. You got to show some love up in here. These people that I have on, definitely, I hate to sound like, as they say, a broken record, but I'm going to do it until you finally get what I'm saying, that we have no pensions, we have no bonuses, we have no Christmas parties, we have no vacations, we have no sick pay. We don't have none of that except spirit on our side. Am I right, Sister Diamond?
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. So what I'm saying is help and support Nina Diamond to continue her work through Venmo at Diamond 157, PayPal, Nina Dunham 57 at yahoo.com. And for her website that you should, on Instagram is Diamond_H, EIGHTS. And this is the show that she's having very soon. Now, you said it starts tomorrow. I thought it started on the 19th.
Is it tomorrow? Tomorrow's not the 19th?
Yeah, because on your website you said the 19th.
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's the 17th.
Oh, tomorrow. So it's the 17th. Yeah, it's the 8 of Diamonds day. So it would be the 17th.
Your number. Okay, good. I stand corrected. That will be corrected. So her channel comes on live. That's where you go. YouTube channel, Diamond 8 on the YouTube channel at 8 o'clock tomorrow. All righty. So please, those who want to learn, find out more about how this works, because I'm fascinated when you hear, and yeah, Lloyd, your Mercury's in 7 of Spades. How you know that? You know what I'm saying? So, but that's the beauty of, I guess, when I talk to people, how do I know these things? But that's what we have been trained to do.
Yeah. These are behind me are the grand solar squares, and that's where it all starts at.
Now, what are the solar squares behind you? What does that mean?
The grand solar squares, the life spread and the pure spread. So that's how we get to determine when you were born. Being the 9 of diamonds, it shows that you were born in the Uranus row. So we get a chance to know the characteristics of the 9 of diamonds because you're a Uranian person. You have that Uranian nature to yourself, and that's what makes you the person that's out there in the world doing that community work, doing that work that is involving other people, because that's Uranus. Uranus is about the greater good.
Well,
So
let me
the diamonds.
see. I mean, what this does is evokes more questions for me. 9 of diamond represents Uranus, yet the fact I am under the constellation of Uranus astrologically. So does that put more emphasis as against another 9 of diamond that's not under Uranus?
Yeah. It would be, because if you had a 9 of diamonds, there was a Virgo, they would still have that, but they would be bringing that second and that seventh house to it. Whereas you're sitting in your natural house. So that it would be a different energy getting there, but they would get to the same place.
I like you every second you're on this show. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, let's go to the next person. But this is how you get in touch with her, especially. And I'm encouraging you to go to. We don't even have Clubhouse on there because I think we ran out of
space, right?
Words, space. So anyway, it is Clubhouse Astrology Club. Every day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. and Saturday and Sunday again, Nina?
Saturday is at 10. Saturday is at 8 p.m. and Sunday is at 10 a.m.
Okay, good. So y'all take notes and visit, because, I tell you, I'm kind of old school. You knock before you come in somebody's room, okay? So, what can I tell you? That's why I said it's okay, God, come in the room, but it's a place where I'm learning from Clubhouse. If there's a room that strikes your attention in terms of conversation, just simply invite yourself in, but quietly, your butt got to leave up out of there. Am I right?
Click leave quietly.
That's right. They make it very clear. Okay. So let's go to some more people. We got this person here.
I know their birthday. I know their birthday very well. That's my
really.
August the 7th is my soulmate card, and it is my son's card. It's the 6 of diamonds, and 6 of diamonds is definitely a blessed life path. They sit in Jupiter, and they sit in Jupiter and Mercury, so they're here to communicate. They're communicators. They're challenging karmic cards and 9 of clubs, which is the master number 1111. So they're very magical people. They have a lot of magic attached to them. They definitely communicate in a different way because of, that 9 of clubs. That 9 of clubs they could seem to be a little older than they are. Probably are old souls when they're born, right? Mm-hmm. But they have a lot of creativity attached to them because it's the 3 of spades is a card that supports them. And that's the actor, the artist card. So they definitely can make great performance. And it definitely, the 3 of diamonds has a lot to do with sports and stuff like that. And it's definitely a card that is more inclined to multicultural things. That 6 of diamonds is definitely someone that likes to date outside of they're comfortable outside of their race. But it's definitely a very powerful card. When the 6 of diamonds appears in your spread, because it's a 6, and we know that 6s are many retrogrades, it's a cause and effect. So you want to make sure you're looking at where that 6 of diamonds appears, because it's either you're going to get the bag or you owe the bag. 6 of diamonds is about your resources, and it's about fiscal responsibility. This week on the 6 of diamonds day, in a couple of days, people are going to wake up and they're just going to feel like, I got to pay a bill. Because that 6 of diamonds is going to prompt you to take care of things. And if you can't, when the 6 of diamonds day, say you owe somebody and you can't pay the whole bill, call them that day. On the 6 of diamonds day, they're going to give you an agreement. They're going to help you. They want to help you to bring that into balance because it's a 6. So there's going to be lots of resources that are all of a sudden just going to be appearing on their computer screen. They're going to say, okay, we could do this, we could do that. So you want to make that phone call on the 6 of diamonds day.
You know what's amazing? How you're talking about the number, and 6 represents duty, responsibilities, obligations. You know what I'm saying? You gotta walk the walk, not just talk the talk, but walk the walk. If you say you're gonna do something, do it.
Do it.
So I think that's so spot on. Now this
Mhm.
person here is Bethany, April 7th.
April the 7th is gonna, ooh, April the 7th. Yeah, that's a powerful, that's an ace of spades. And that's a card of metaphysical science. And that's a powerful card. The ace of spades is definitely when we look at the spades, like I said earlier, they have the capacity to morph into all of the different suits. So the ace of spades would be the person that has this real gregarious persona, but they have to learn how to use it, because for people it can be overwhelming because it's a lot of fire, and it's an ace, so we know it's youthful and it's very, just a youthful energy. But you want to be able to use it in tandem with what's happening. So if you're emotional, you want to make sure that you're using that ace of spade correctly, because you're emotional and you're bringing the fire, and people are feeling those emotions. So when that ace of spades shows up, and you being the ace of spades, you just want to be aware of your communication, because you sit in Mercury. So it's about communication. And ace of spades would be someone that's definitely more adept to in social situations and stuff like that, non-judgmental. Mercury is what they call non-binary. So that ace of spades would be more adept to being around other people. But because of the ace of spades sees a lot, like I said, it has those abilities. It's a card of secrets, and it's a card of death and rebirth. So they go through lots of initiations, and people can feel that. So ace of spades, if they're having a conversation and it's not clicking, you're not going to see them. They have to have somebody that gets them, because they know a lot. They have dreams that are out of this world, and they're not going to talk to everybody. So when they find that person that they're able to communicate with, then that's going to be a good fit. But they're not people that are going to sit and have useless conversations. Not the ace of spades.
And you do this 7 days a week for a couple of hours?
Yeah.
I am impressed with you, darling. Trust me, this is brilliant. I'm saying, wow. It's like going back to school. I'm going to learn this too. Trust me, I'm a quick learner. I'm a little slow at things, but when I get the hang of it, that's it. Now, this person, Trey R, says, I'm told they are a king of diamond. They're April the 9th. Is that true? Do they know what they're
April the 9th would be, I believe so. Let me see. April the 9th. No, you're a queen of diamonds.
I'm glad we checked. See? Now, what does that mean, since he said he was a king? But see, to me, he's an Aries. He's a number 9, and 9s normally think they're the greatest thing since ice cream. So,
right. Right. And if you're in business, and you can definitely be whatever it is that you want at any time. And if you're in business, you would be a king of diamonds, because when we look at the suits, you started the ace and you're moving up. So you become the personality card. So you can be a jack of diamonds, a queen of diamonds, or a king of diamonds. And the difference is the jack of diamonds is here, and the jack of diamonds isn't working. It has the key to the castles. The queen of diamonds is going to be the co-ruler to the king of diamonds. So it's just depending on which one you want to personify. But the queen of diamonds is Saturnian. It sits in Saturn, Mercury, and like pretty much on the same level as the 9 of diamonds, but because it's a queen, it's elevated, here to serve. All queens are in service with their resources. And the queen of diamonds is definitely through communication. The queen of diamonds sets the table, brings everybody to the table. People, in that Uranian way, and looking at how it'd be more of a community, like you would be on the board at church, or maybe the Little League, or, Girl Scouts. That would be the queen of diamonds. How can we do this? How can we fund these programs? Would be the queen of diamonds, bringing the people of power together to write the check. That's the queen of diamonds. But the queen of diamonds is about the aesthetics. You know, it's Saturnian. So Saturn wants to be known for what it does. So the Queen of Diamonds has to be mindful of getting in these places and wanting to look the part of the people that they're trying to get the money from. You know, that's the downside of the Queen of Diamonds is if I'm sitting, say I'm going to a dinner with the Obamas, I got to go out and buy a dress to match the Obamas, but I can't afford it. No, that's not what you do. You're going to talk about the things you need to talk about. The dress is not, that's not what people are going to be looking at. People are going to be looking at what you're bringing to the table. That's Saturn. So you're going to be known for the things that you've done. So the Queen of Diamonds is a very powerful energy and has to know how, you know, has to know how to play that role without overdoing it. And this year's the Queen of Diamonds is extremely important because it's the Pluto card to the United States. So we're learning, we're going deep with that. We're learning what that looks like to be community minded. We're learning what that looks like is like the Queen of Diamonds is about hair, governs the hair industry. So when you're going out in the world, Madam C.J. Walker is tied to the Queen of Diamonds, right? So when you're going out into the world as a Queen of Diamonds, yeah, you want to look the part, the nails, the hair, the clothes, and all of that kind of stuff. But if you can't afford it, this is the year we're going to learn. This is the year where you're going to see people doing their own hair because we can't afford that right now. People are out of
the way
work.
prices are going up with food and everything else, I would say you, as they say, spot on.
Yep. So you're going to see the changes in how people are using their resources. This Queen of Diamonds is a queen of resources. So we're going to learn in the community how to use these resources better. We're not going to be spending on the outward because it's that inner that you got to work on, that spiritual essence to make that spiritual money. Because the Queen of Diamonds has a powerful 7 of spades and a 9 of diamonds.
Both. This one is Lockstead Last. They're born March the 28th, and they said they're changing career. They're currently pregnant. First baby due in May.
Yeah.
So what card are they?
8 of clubs, one of the most powerful cards in the deck. Now the 8 of clubs, definitely if you're changing careers, that's a big deal for the 8 of clubs because the 8 of clubs doesn't change a lot of things. They're a generator. They are a very powerful card when it comes to definitely communications because it's a club. Definitely a very beneficial card to whoever that they're around, whatever field that they're working in. But it's a card of Black women. And you're definitely, we're learning the 8 of clubs.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm so sorry to interrupt your flow. I'm like a kid with this
I
learning.
know, right?
Well, what would be the card of Black men, if that's the case?
Card of Black men is the 5 of diamonds.
Interesting. Okay, continue with the lady. I'm so sorry, dear, for the interrupting the reading. Listen, every day I learn from you. It's like, okay, good. Continue. So her 5 or whatever is about the
8 of clubs.
And as you were saying before, I rudely interrupted you.
It's okay. Now the 8 of clubs superpower is it has an 8 of spades in Saturn. And that gives that 8 of spades a certain air. It's because the average person may not know how to operate in Saturn, but because it's an 8 of clubs, it means that this 8 of spades is represented in there. So it gives the 8 of spades 8 of clubs a cockiness. They know they're better than you. They know it. They get it. They like, I get it. I know the work that I need to do. I know what it looks like. I know how to present myself because that's Saturn. You're known for your Saturn. Saturn is everything that's wrapped up that you're trying to do. We see it in Saturn. So the 8 of clubs is like, I'm familiar with this. So they just have this ability to really shine, to be real, to be really powerful with how they display themselves to the world. They are very clairvoyant. They could definitely, you spend some time with them, they can get up in your head for sure. So very powerful. And having your first baby, congratulations.
Now, this person, just known as T, a female, says, can you give us some insight? She's born November the 4th, 77.
November the 4th is 3 of diamonds.
A lot of
Now,
diamonds are coming up today.
yeah, now three of diamonds is a very powerful card in our world, in the United States, because it sits in a place that is very mystical. You know, like the young lady that I just spoke to, the Ace of Spades, the 3 of diamonds has that card in Mercury, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 of diamonds sits at 29 degrees, the solar value. And we know in astrology that that's a critical degree.
Yes,
So
it
the
is.
3 of diamonds being a 3, it could be always in the process of doing something, because that's what happens when we get to 29th degree. We're stepping into the next sign at the first degree. So that could be that the 3 of diamonds doing the things that they do and looking that they're getting ready to transition into something else. But because they're a 3, they have to be able to use that 3 energy. You know, threes can be staticky, you know, because you have those 3. When you look at the 3 dots, you have the one in the middle, the one on the top, and one on the bottom. They got to know how to play the middle. So if the 3 of diamonds is playing the middle, the recovery, because it's the recovery with the 3 of diamonds and the things that they're doing, and especially in how they speak, because the 3 of diamonds will be someone that will start talking about an apple, and by the time they finish, they're probably talking about grapes. You know, because they constantly, you know, they growing, you know.
Yeah, they're evolving.
Yeah, definitely. That's that Ace of Spades. They're always looking ahead. They're always looking for something. And this year is a very important year for the 3 of diamonds, because they're sitting in the sun. They're displacing the 8 of diamonds. So this is about a year of discovery. You should feel it. You should feel that there's something different about your life. You should feel that people are paying more attention to you, that things are becoming easier for you, because you're the Neptune card to the 8 of diamonds. So this would be definitely a year of discovery for you. Definitely 3 of diamonds, metaphysical sciences, you know, anything that involves digging, you know, they're gonna find interesting. But for the 3 of diamonds this year is definitely an extremely benefit year. This is the year where you want to put in the work, because in cardology, this year doesn't become real until next year. So the things that we do now, our karma is shifting, and we're building towards something. So this is the year you want to go hard, because in 2 years, you're going to be in the center of the universe. And that's where the bag is.
Interesting. This person says, what is Diamond's Cash App? You don't have a Cash App. You do have a PayPal.
Yeah,
and a
Cash App is
Venmo.
disrespectful. I had to cut Cash App off.
So for those of you who would like to make a donation, there it is on her banner. All righty. There are 2 ways to do it. Venmo at Diamond157 or PayPal. And that email address is NinaDunham57@yahoo.com. That's Nina Dunham57@yahoo.com. Is that correct, dear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and please go to her website. If y'all can't find that book, y'all go to her website and order it there, darn it. Cardology University .academy. Please. Cardology, Cardology. It's interesting when I put in the word, they want to say cardiology with the heart.
Cardiologist, right?
Yeah, something like that. And I said, no, cardiology. You know, I know what I'm doing now. So please visit her university. In fact, when you visit the university, you can order more than just the book. You can get a sense of what she does, how she does it. But every time I hearing you on Clubhouse, but seeing you do this, it's just absolutely amazing. And I'm impressed, and God bless you for having such a gift of being able to interpret. A lot of people can study something, know it, but then it is the art of interpretation. So the person, you know, so what does that mean? You say I'm this, yeah, what does that mean? You know, and that you do well. I don't know how you do it, but you can tell you know your stuff, and you don't.
Well, I had the pleasure of being a social service advocate for 30-something years. So I've always, you know, my career working for the federal government, I've always been counseling and always around people. So it is something that I love doing. So That's why I tell people you transfer your skills to whatever you're doing. You know, my ability to work and learn all of the things that I had to do every day. I just transfer it when I'm doing something else. I use the same brain. It's like this is the brain that I use to be successful in my career. I use it in everything that I do. Your skills are transferable.
Yes. Here's a person that says they searched for you, Diamond 8, on YouTube and don't see the channel. What's the channel
It's
again?
Diamond EIGHT. They have an 8. It's EIGHT is on YouTube.
Okay, EIG. Right. That's what it is. The 8, the number 8 is spelled out, folks.
Right.
So it's
right.
DIAMONDEIGHT, Diamond 8.
Yeah, it's one word. Yeah. But you can look in on my, if you look in my link tree on my YouTube, on my Instagram, you can click from there. So it's in my link tree.
Okay, good. Let me see something. Somebody did say, somebody must have looked up because they said Cardology University Planner is available on Amazon. So I guess you got to check with Angel to find out, is it?
Yeah, Angel says she thinks it's because that person's in Canada. That's why, maybe.
Okay. Now, this person is born on January the 29th, 1984, Ebby Simpson.
They are, January 29th is a Jack of Clubs. And that's the card that supports you in life. And the Jack of Clubs has a 9 of Diamonds in Mercury. So y'all definitely have a connection. The Jack of Clubs is known as a card of hip hop because it's a Jack. Think about hip hop and think about how everything goes. Jacks want to have fun. And because of the cipher with their clubs, you know, they want to spit, they want to talk. So the Jack of Clubs is able to use their words in the rhyme. So it's known as the card of hip hop. But it's a very powerful card. The Jack of Clubs is somebody that's going to be known. If they worked in the company, the CEO of that company is going to know their name. They are the person that if you give them something, they're going to get it done. Anything, you know, involving projects, anything mental. The Jack of Clubs is the person that's going to get them done. They sit in Uranus, right? They're very resourceful. They sit in Uranus, Venus. So they're definitely an aesthetic card. They like to look good for sure. Their resources, it's important how they use their resources. They are giving people, but the Jack of Clubs in relationships can, you know, need to be mindful of the people that they're around. Because giving it's a good thing to be a giving person, but you can't give to everybody, you know, and that would definitely be something that the Jack of Clubs wants to look at. That 9 of Diamonds and Mercury makes y'all extremely resourceful people, but you lose stuff. You know, a Jack of Diamonds definitely has to let go, can't hold on to stuff. That's for sure. You are, you know, a person that will be giving. And if you're not, then it's going to be taken away from you because of that 9 of Diamonds and Mercury. But they have the King of Clubs and they have the 2 of Clubs. And that just gives them their brain. They're like wizards. They are, you know, when we look at the most powerful rappers and stuff out there, when they're rapping, they're just like wizards. It's just like, it's coming, it's flowing. That's a Jack of Clubs. They just have a brain that is just very, you know, the more fun they have, the more youthful they have, but they want to look good. One thing about the Jack of Clubs, they want that looking, that appearance is, you know, they have a certain, everybody in the Uranus, now Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury. So
yes, it is.
People who sit in Uranus, they have this androgynous about them. They can morph into different things. And that's why they're such great people good with people, because they're able to, you know, to really be with you and make you comfortable. And the Jack of Clubs would be that person. They will really be able to make you comfortable when they're in their conversations and stuff like that. They want to get it done. The Jack of Clubs wants to get it done. But aesthetically, they have to be mindful because the attraction that they have a great attraction. But when you have a great attraction, you got to figure out, am I attracted to you though? Just because somebody's attracted to me doesn't mean I'm attracted to them.
The dog got to swing both ways.
Yes. So the Jack of Clubs is someone that wants to pay attention to that, because all Jacks are initiates. They are what? If you're doing something and you want to get to the next level, you come across a jack of clubs, you're going to feel that this jack of clubs can possibly help you get there. But you want to make sure that this person is doing stuff for the right reasons, because it goes both ways, that you could be conned or you will be a con artist. Right.
Okay, good. We have Patricia Simmons. She's born on the 6th of March.
She's a 4 of spades, and the 4 of spades is definitely the kept woman or the kept man. You know, it's the card of living your best life. The 4, you know, being a 4, you know, fours are that structure, that foundation, but it sits in Jupiter, and it sits in Jupiter Venus. So you can just imagine that energy together. Jupiter, it builds out everything that you do, and the 4 of spades wants to live well. Venus and Taurus. So it's why it's called a card of living your best life. And it has access to all of the other cards, because it's a 4 of spades. So resourceful, very emotional, you know, and love to talk. The 4 of clubs is definitely the great, 4 of spades is a great debater. They can get into a conversation and really, you know, be resourceful with it. But definitely, you know, it is known as the card of the kept woman or the kept man. They definitely do appreciate that good life and not having to work for it.
That's interesting. And you were right about deducing whether the books that were sold out on Amazon was in Canada. And she says, so here in Canada is showing as sold out.
Oh my God, Marnie! I have to send you. Marnie is in Canada, and she comes to the school. She's in Clubhouse every day. She is definitely a part of the family. So we got to get you a copy, Marnie.
And I'm glad the Clubhouse family is supporting you. I know you've been on since 9 o'clock, and it's now 12 hours later, and you still talking. So can we take a couple of more calls, and then we're gonna put on the banner about how people can get in touch with you. And I want people to really go to your YouTube channel tomorrow. It's called Diamond 8, DIAMONDEIGHT. Is that correct, my dear?
Yes. We're trying to get to, we have a challenge. And the cards, when you know your card, I have a challenge. My life is challenging. Anytime there's something comes up, I have to do it. I have to complete it. And I've been challenged YouTube. So I've been challenged to go live on YouTube, which I'm able to do, but you can't have guests and stuff like that till you get to 1,000. So I'm up to 514. So I'm trying to get to over 1,000.
We're going to help you get there. You can do it. Definitely. She seemed to be frozen at the moment. Okay, let's see. All righty. So I think, okay, there she is. She's back. Okay. You were saying before it froze that you got about 500, but you need to get up to 1,000, right?
Yes. To go live and have on guests like you do, yeah, I have to get to 1,000.
Well, we're going to do our best on this end to make sure we get you closer to the 1,000, if not over 1,000, so you can make that happen. And I'm going to raise my hand to be one of the first guests on your show. Okay.
Right. But I do have, you want to learn cardology, I have quite a few videos on my YouTube channel that, you know, that teach cardology. So, and on my Instagram too. So you can definitely learn cardology by listening to my videos. I do put a lot of stuff out there. And so does Aquarius Maximus. So we definitely want to share this community. It's on our hearts, you know. Aquarius Maximus is my daughter. And we have always, you know, learning the cards, you know, we spent years, you know, she was raised in the metaphysical, how she was raised with astrology and numerology. And when she, you know, matured and she got into the cards, it was like, we really want people to use this the way that we've learned how to use it. And that's our passion. You know, that's the passion. And we've been so successful and afforded so many things. And the community that I started, my community was on Instagram. And I got the flyest and the most dopest supporters that there are. When the 7 of diamonds, Cardology gives you so much. If you have a card and the card, like my cosmic lesson is a 7 of diamonds, and that's Beyonce's card. So that's telling me that I have the capabilities of doing the things that Beyonce does. I have to get myself out there. So having that community, building that community in something like that I have built on Instagram and now on Clubhouse is a part of my life path. So when you know your life path, you see how to unlock it. You see that what are the things that you need to be doing to be successful in the things that you're doing.
This person, Rich Mitch, says, good evening to Miss Nina, Diamond, and Lloyd. They are Ace of Clubs. What's in it for them?
Well, Ace of Clubs is one of those biometric semi-fixed cards. It's my Mars card. Now, the Ace of Clubs is a very interesting card because it doesn't have karma like the rest of us. It's come here, to live a different life path. It's a it's a semi-fixed card that moves every other year, but it moves every other. Every time the spread changes for you, the Ace of Clubs move. But the Ace of Clubs is about communication. And because it's an ace, we know aces represent the one. It's a communicator, more of a, it's in Mercury. So it's an emotional communicator, right? The Ace of Clubs it has an insatiable appetite to learn. The Ace of Clubs wants to learn, right? And then it has an Ace of Spades and Saturn. So add that on. They definitely have this insatiable appetite for knowledge. They're extremely powerful, but they have rare opportunities because their soulmate card is a 2 of Hearts. And the 2 of Hearts sits in Neptune, Venus. And Neptune, Venus is an auspicious placement. But the 2 of Hearts only has one birthday a year. So that means the Ace of Clubs in their life has rare opportunities that they just need to prepare for, because things that are coming to them through that 2 of Hearts. So it's going to be through relationships for sure, definitely connections and emotional connections, but emotionally spiritual connections, because we know Neptune is at 12th house, and Neptune, you got to have faith in Neptune. So the Ace of Clubs has to have faith in the relationships that come in and out of their life, because Neptune is going to take you deep. If you meet somebody today as the Ace of Clubs, that Neptune erodes away at stuff. It makes it real. So you have to give that relationship time to mature. You can't rush into relationships, because over time, it's going to be revealed to you what that relationship is for. So it's a very powerful card.
This one is this person, Tasha Paul, says she's born March the 3rd, 1960. She's a 6 of diamond. Is a 9 of clubs man a good match?
She's October the 3rd, and
yes,
October the 3rd is the October the 3rd. No, October the 3rd is, let me see. Oh yeah, 6 of diamonds and a 9 of clubs. Well, it depends. If you want a challenge in life, it depends. You think of someone that you share a life path with, is karmic. You know that you and that person have something that you came here to do. Now, if you're mature enough and you're both evolved enough, it could be a great relationship, because that person is challenging you. But if you're not mature enough and you're not evolved enough, it's going to be a triggering relationship for you. Because that 9 of clubs it's always going to be something that you're going to be learning, cycling, and letting go. It's like you got a master coach as your spouse or your husband or something like that. And the 9 of clubs is an interesting card, but it's a very sensual card, a very intimate card, but it also has a 9 of spades and Mercury. So it could be a difficult card when it comes to attachments, because the 9 of clubs can feel the loss that they have. So taking time to mature in that relationship it definitely is going to take time, because the 9 of clubs, having that 9 of spades and Mercury, does deal with losses, and people who deal with losses may find it hard to connect. It's like, I don't connect because I don't feel like you're going to be around long, because it's definitely dealing with their childhood. Like they may have lost a parent or a grandparent, or they may have lost major things in their lives. They may have had to move and leave people. So if they haven't been able to connect during their Mercury years, which is from 1 to 13, they may not, they need time to work through that, because it's a lot of losses dealing with that energy. So it's definitely challenging, but it's karmic. If you're with that person, it's for a reason, for sure.
I'd like to ask you, do you feel like reading 2 more people? And that's
Sure.
it? Okay, good. This person is born September the 9th. It says they're all 9s. They're not really all 9s because 1963 adds to 19. But I know what she's saying is 9963. So what is this particular person's birthday? And then we'll read one more.
September the 9th, that's 99, right?
Yep.
You're a 2 of diamonds. And
a lot of diamonds keep coming up for some reason. Or is it me? Or maybe because I'm a diamond.
Diamonds day, and we're in diamond season. So
diamonds
rule.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Rule. We just and diamonds are the people that's gonna put themselves out there. 2 of diamonds it's a very powerful card. Definitely it's a interesting card. It sits in Saturn, and it is someone that is here to do something, for sure. It's about the connections. It's definitely the soulmate card, but the 2 of diamonds definitely is here for partnerships, and it's partnerships through their resources. The 2 of diamonds would be a director to me, someone behind the scenes, like a producer and stuff like that, and keeping, using these resources as whatever they're doing in their career, they're able to call back on the people that they've come across in their life. Yeah, definitely. It's the card of Clubhouse, which makes it, you think about what goes on in Clubhouse, the connections that are made on there, because they sit in Mars. So the 2 of diamonds would be that person that has to know how to move. And 2s are not necessarily known for that. 2s being an even card, what may wait for opportunities, right? So the connections and stuff that they make. But that 2 of diamonds sitting in Mars Saturn they have to be known as those people that get it done. So they got to know how to use their Mars, because that Saturn is your reputation. So when you're around people, they want to feel that you're using that Saturn well, because people are going to feel your Saturn. So if you're not using your Saturn well, you're not necessarily going to get the jobs and stuff that you want, because if Saturn is your restriction that you can get past, how do you do the work? So a 2 of diamonds has to use that Saturn well. They have to use that Mars and that Saturn well to get to the place of stature that they want to get to in their life.
I love your art of interpretation. I don't know how you do it, and I'm going to let you get one more so you can breathe, okay? This one she's born October the 28th, and she says she's a 7 of hearts. Is that true?
Yes, she is. And the 7 of hearts is my reward. So it's definitely a card that I pay attention to. It's like all 7s, 7s are here in a spiritual, it's a spiritual card. They're introspective people. They sit in the spirit world, and then they will go out into the mundane world. You're not going to find a 7 just floating out in the mundane. That's not what they do. They know that that's a scary place to be at, and especially a 7 of hearts, because this is a card that's emotional, and it sits in Venus. So it's a card of attraction. The 7 of hearts is a very attractive card, drawing things to it based on the aesthetics of it. But because it's a 7, it has to see past those aesthetics. It has to have good boundaries. That's why it's known as the card of boundaries. But it's also the card of allowing things. Like you're a 7, you got to be the 7 of hearts has to be the most non-judgmental card that there is. They're a very giving card. They have a 7 of diamonds in Mercury, so they have lots of resources. I always look at the 7 of hearts and the 7 of diamonds as being they're just a magnet for resources, but they can feel put upon because people people know that. If people know that you are that person, you know, there's always some unscrupulous person that just keeps asking. So
Yeah.
I tell the 7 of hearts and the 7 of diamonds to do that litmus test. It's like I always say, if you go into the gas station and you get a scratch off and you win $500 and you step outside and somebody says, well, you know, I forgot my wallet or something like that. You say the universe just gave me $500, so I'm going to give this to them. If you just got a scratch off and you didn't win anything and you step outside, you say, well, I'm sorry, I don't have it. That's the 7 of hearts. You have to have good boundaries. You can't just say, yes, I'm going to do this for you, and you know it's a hardship. That's bad karma.
Yeah.
You're amassing bad karma, and that person is amassing bad karma. The universe gives the 7 hearts just freely. You get things that just come to you, and that's your superpower. That you get this the cycle. It's like when someone comes to you, it's like, yes, I can help you because I've got it. If I don't have it, I don't have it. And that's where the 7 of hearts will pull back and do that spiritual work, that initiate work that shows them, yeah, on the spiritual tip, I'm good. The mundane is not my business. If you couldn't pay your rent, there's a reason why you couldn't pay your rent. I don't have to agree with it, but I'm not supposed to pay my rent to pay your rent. That's the 7 of hearts.
Well, let me tell you this. Nina Diamond, I want to thank you. I know I've had you on. I know you probably need some rest because you start at 9. And I'm looking, it's after 9. So we're talking about 12 hours and no telling who you were talking to. Listen, before we go though, can people get readings? And let me put your banner up again. Okay, to make sure. Can people
they can
readings?
Yeah, on my on Cardology University, my calendar isn't there, but you can DM me on YouTube, not YouTube, on Instagram for readings. I do limited readings. I do more coaching. I'm a coach. I've been a coach for 15 years, and well, I don't do counseling anymore, but I love coaching. Readings are, you know, I do readings, but I love coaching. I love that, watching people get to where they want to get to. Readings, sure, but it's not my favorite.
So in other words, if a person wants to be coached, you're the person. Okay. And if they want a reading, then maybe they need to come to Cardology University on Clubhouse and learn some things, or go to your daughter, Aquarius Maximus, or even better yet, get on her website, or either get on your website. Would that be correct?
Yeah, you can reach out. You know, it's just that, you know, readings are, you know, they're more superficial for me. Being a social service advocate, I know that there's just other things that people really need to be looking for. So coaching just gives me that ability to connect, you know, on a different level with people.
Okay, and this is your book that people can get, except if you're in Canada. Okay.
Or you can download it from our site if you're in Canada.
Oh, they can download it from your site?
Oh, yeah, we have a digital download on our site.
Oh, good. So whether people are used to doing things now, because a lot of people are what they call it ebooks and stuff like that. So if you're in an ebook, but me, I like to hold a book in my hand and flip
me too.
I'm kind of old school like that. You know, that's why you see all these books behind me that I flip.
Oh, right.
You know. So let me say this. Everybody, let me put this banner up one more time so you can't say you didn't get it. All righty. It's right here, and I'll repeat everything again. It is Nina Diamond, Cardologer, author, lecturer. Her site is cardologyuniversity.academy. Her Venmo, please donate, is Diamond157, PayPal, Nina Dunham 57 at yahoo.com. And her IG, if you want to follow her daily on Instagram, is Diamond_8, EIGHT. Don't be lazy. You got to write everything out.
Okay? Yeah, it's too many diamonds. There's too many diamonds and 8s out there, so I had to put the.
But there's only got to be one official diamond, right, darling? That's all I'm saying. Let us be clear. There's only one official diamond on Instagram, and it's Diamond_8. And she has a YouTube channel that's starting tomorrow. The date is incorrect. I should have done that while we was talking. But it will be tomorrow at 8 p.m. and where you could go to Diamond 8. No, number 8, DIAMONDEIGHT on that. I'm going to be on. I'm going to be. I asked Diamond, although you can visit the clubhouse. I always ask, can I come in? Because first of all, I want to thank her very much on her own show tomorrow morning, and also I want to acknowledge the fact that because let me tell you this, it shows you how things work. I'm starting my clubhouse tomorrow doing numerology because of this woman. See how things work?
Oh, wow.
And she's doing the YouTube because and so this is what you call a value for value relationship.
Absolutely. And
And
tomorrow is the first day of the week for the United States. The United States starts on Thursday. And that's what we study. We study United States, and I do my weekly forecast on Thursday on YouTube live. So,
well, what I'm going to do next Thursday, maybe since you do it every Thursday, I would like to do the forecast for the United States because it's going to be somewhat problematic. And I'll
yeah.
show you from the numbers.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. It's definitely, it starts tomorrow. Yeah.
And see, I
It's
haven't
going to
heard
be
what
on
y'all
and
been
popping.
talking about, but I know what's going on with the United States,
Yeah.
numerically speaking,
Yeah.
this particular year for this country. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thank you very much. And by the
Thank
way,
you.
Diamond, can you hold on just 1 second? I want to just make some announcements for myself, which I rarely get a chance to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And just hold on, dear. Don't go nowhere. Thank you.
All righty.
So tomorrow, well, excuse me, on Monday, alrighty, my guest will be this distinguished gentleman here. His name is Dr. Donald Thomas. He is going to be my guest on. He used my numerology system to break 3 world world Guinness records or Guinness World
Mm.
Records. He used my numerology system, and he's going to explain everything on Monday about how he does it. He's a nutritionist, health person, all that stuff. He talked to me about propolis and bee pollen and all this other stuff. A very interesting gentleman I've been knowing since back in the day. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to have this distinguished young lady who is Monica Bay, who is an astrologer that was referred to me by Dominic Holmes, my buddy. All right, so these will be my guests. And also, let me put, I said, well, let me put my banner up there too, which I'll get a chance to do. And my banner is right there. You see everything right there in front of you. Okay, my name, lecture, my site is lloyd-strayhorn.com. Now, when you go to my site, right, click on the moon letter. Kaya French and I do a monthly newsletter that's free every single month. We've been doing it over a year. I do some things and she puts it together, and it's to a point now. I don't know who wrote what, and it's just amazing how things meld together because we've been writing together that long. But it's at lloyd-strayhorn.com. Go further down and sign up for the free monthly newsletter. I mean, sign up for the online course. The reason why I say that because my course is now on sale, and what I'll do is I will show you. Here it is right here, and today is the last day of the sale, my birthday. So if y'all want to show some love in that sense, just go to my Numbers in You or lloyd-strayhorn.com and click on and order it. Today at 12 midnight, the sale ends. I showed you what the original price was, close to $200 on both courses. With this one today, and the sale ends at 12 midnight, at least on this time. And East Coast, West Coast, they got a couple more hours to get it till 3 in the morning, our time. But the point is, you can get this for less than lunch for 2. All righty. So I think that's it. But by the way, I do want to go back to my banner to say this. I am starting my clubhouse thanks to Nina Diamond tomorrow, the 17th at 7 p.m. It's only going to be 1 hour. Why? Because I want to catch Nina Diamond and see what she's got on her show. Okay. So it's only going to be an hour. It is for beginners, medium persons, professionals. And what I'm going to do is some of these guests that I've had on, these astronumerologists that you've seen, I haven't reached out to them yet, but I would like to invite them from time to time to help me to share their knowledge so all of my students who are learning numerology can be at their best. Okay, so now that I got that out the way, I want to thank everybody very much. And okay, here we go. And let me get this out the way, and then I'm going to bring this beautiful lady back on to thank her. Hold on. Boy. Oh, I see where that's coming from. Thank you. All right. The one thing when you're doing live, it's organic, okay, Diamond?
For sure.
Because I'm doing the best I can, but oh, hold on.
Yeah,
There
for
we
sure,
go.
right?
There we go.
Right.
Nina Diamond, thank you so much from the bottom of
Thank
my
you.
heart. You put in long hours. You have been dedicated, which is why your clubhouse room has been considered one of the top 10s. Trust me, there are a whole bunch of rooms up in Clubhouse. Okay.
And listening to that young man tomorrow, because I'm planning on submitting to Guinness Book of Records, because I know we're the longest one on their Clubhouse. I want to submit us, so I'm definitely looking at doing that.
Yeah, and this guy Donald Thomas is going to be on Monday. He's going to explain how he used my system of numbers, and we did it. In fact, one of the persons massaging him at that time was actor Wesley Snipes, but he wasn't an actor then. So it goes way, way back. So I got a kind of an interesting history. So
yeah, 9 of diamonds. That's what your life is going to be odd and unusual.
And it has been. In every sense of the word. That's why I was saying when you said it's Uranian 9 of diamonds, I'm ruled by Uranus. Does that put more emphasis on my weirdness or oddity? But I've had a very eventful and very unpredictable life. But I've enjoyed the trip all the way. It's been fun.
And I wanted to say to the young lady that was on earlier, I was sending her so much love because my granddaughter's birthday is this week, and she was a preemie, and she'll be 14.
Really?
She was in a hospital in the incubator for Clarice's last child. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So
but they
she'll
did
be
not
14 and she's great.
But initially they did not give my first guest, their child, a chance to live at all. And she called me, we talked, and then the rest of God and the rest is history. And she got now the cutest little girl, okay? And smiled despite what procedures she's been through, which is more than most adults have been in their lifetime. Less than, 2.5.
Yeah.
She's remarkable. She's remarkable. And always found the happiest baby I know, which says a lot about her mommy and her daddy.
Yeah, it does. That's love.
All right. So I want to thank you again. And everybody, for those of you who stayed to celebrate this birthday, thank you. Although one's supposed to know it was my birthday, I wanted to give thanks to everybody that made my show a success. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
Yes.
And thank you very much, everybody. Have a pleasant day until then. And don't forget, tomorrow I will start my clubhouse Numbers in You. That is the way you go to Numbers in You and find it. And then at 8, tune in to the premiere of Diamond 8's TV channel. Because that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah. I'll talk to you in the morning, Diamond.
Thank you. Have a great
blessed evening. You too.